Jess, leg lift.
Leg lift.
Hang on, I don't have a lot of room. Hang on, wait, do it again.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Is it? Where are we?
It is Wednesday.
Oh.
It is
Wednesday, my dudes.
And it is now. It's going to be like that all day. I'm going to warn you right now.
Yeah. It is.
This episode of the Do-Over podcast is going to be a little bit off the rails.
Stupid.
It's going to be a little bit off the rails today. I'm going to apologize in advance. But this is the first episode that we are not introducing a number. No need for a number today on the Do-Over podcast.
That's right.
No. We're no longer counting the episodes of the Do-Over podcast. It's
Why
just
not?
the next episode because Elliot
numbers?
had a problem with it.
Hey, numbers. You know, why don't you do me a favor? There you go. Get out.
Elliot has a problem with the numbers. He's like, I don't think we need to number the episodes
I
at
don't
all.
think so.
I don't think we need to do it. And because I'm not unilaterally in control anymore of this engagement, I had to appease the guy. And we are, if you notice the last episode of Taps It Takes, Monster Hunting, that tush push, it's up now. Go and check it out. Shout out to Grogs.
It's a little sussy. Who's naming these? Who's naming these episodes?
Definitely not me.
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Okay.
You did do it.
Definitely not me. I didn't do it. But yeah, we talk about Monster Hunter and Kathleen Kennedy getting potentially not axed, but retiring, maybe forced retirement from Lucasfilm. We also talk about the tush push play.
We talk about the Mavs. We talk about getting Centelled. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
So watch it.
Go watch it. Go check it out.
Watch it.
And also watch here.
Subscribe.
Let's see if we can do one of these. Subscribe. Okay. See, like Orky right here. Wow. Okay. We wow. We want you to subscribe to our YouTube. Most of the people listen to us through Spotify and some on Apple Music, and a lot of people watch on YouTube, but we are almost a partner. We may be there by the time you're seeing this.
We better be there.
But if we're
I'm
not,
looking at you.
Yeah.
Be there. Subscribe.
Super zoom in on Elliot's face.
There's your thumbnail.
So we need you to go and sub because that's going to help us out and it's going to help us get bigger. Now, shirts. I'm going to have shirts for Patreon members on Monday. Well, actually,
Monday.
2 days ago.
Whoa, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I
I did a run of about 20 of them. Our biggest contributors on Patreon, which we are going to do at the end of the episode, a credits roll of all of our members. Our biggest contributors, they are getting shirts, and we're going to be giving some out here. So if you are subbed and you comment on YouTube, I'm going to be giving out some shirts. So definitely check that out. So thanks again for joining us. What?
It's spicy.
What's wrong?
All right. So
Are you a little hungover?
we'll get there.
Okay.
So Colleen, like the last time I was hungover, she swore on this incredible invention that is guaranteed to get rid of all hangovers within 30 minutes or less. Blowfish, the straightest of all fishes. So I said, okay, I'll keep that in my little back pocket. Well, it was date night yesterday.
Oh, was it?
And, we'll get into the whole nooks and crannies of what I did, but woke up a little on the hungover side. So I said, you know what? This is a perfect time to see if Colleen is a genius or a weenus.
Let me taste it. It's spicy.
It's a little spicy.
So wait. But I called you last night at like 6:30, and you're interrupting Drewski.
You were interrupting Drewski.
Then how's it date night at 6:30?
Because
Interrupting
we started
Drewski?
at 2.
Oh my god.
Spicy.
Here, I want to try it.
You want to try
It's
it?
like
Yeah.
carbonated something.
Spice.
Ew. That's nasty. That better work for
You're
you.
using up all of my hangover cure, okay?
That's pretty gross.
I mean, it's better than I thought it was.
I don't
Like you
know.
guys were describing
I
it
don't
horrible.
love- I
Give
don't
it back.
I don't love the like.
Careful.
I don't love the like.
A lot of
Yeah.
expensive equipment over here. I do not want that spilled anywhere. Anyways, good morning. Let's get right into it because we have an event-filled episode of the Do-Over podcast.
Yes.
No need for a name. Let's go. We have a special guest in studio that's going to be doing something over here. We'll talk about that.
Right.
We're going to be talking about that. We also have Restaurateur. He hates it when he's called that. Head Chef, Restaurateur, James.
Chef Daddy.
Chef Daddy.
Chef Daddy.
Chef Daddy coming in, showing off his calves.
I
Oh,
know.
man, those calves looking good.
He looks like he lives on a mountain, like on a mountaintop.
He looks like the kind of guy that would like milk a goat or two.
He looks
does.
like he has an acre of weed in his, but it's only for him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't sell it. He has an acre of weed because he smokes so much weed that he needs to grow his own weed to have it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we're going to get into why he's here. It should make for an eventful episode of the Do Over podcast, but right now we got to get into our hump to hump, Elliot.
Hump to hump.
Where have you been this last week, fool? Where have you been, Elliot?
Clearly shaved his beard and kept a mustache.
Well,
I
it's
like it.
It's Mustache March.
Big fan of that.
Mustache March.
Is that a thing?
It is a thing.
It is a thing. You need to do it too. Starting tomorrow.
no.
Embrace
On
the
your birthday.
mustache.
No.
On your birthday, yo.
on the birthday.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Birthday stash.
Birthday
stash.
See,
birthday stash.
I was
Period.
I was doing a I was doing a beard. I was trying to grow out a beard. Sarah hates it, but I was trying to grow out a beard,
Yeah.
and it was like going, but it was very light.
Was it all neck beard?
It's
Because
like,
I grow neck beard.
yeah, it's kind of thin in the wrong ways. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
I've got a patch like right here that doesn't grow hair.
at all.
So it's like beard and then there's like a little bald spot. And so finally I was like,
He has beard alopecia.
He does.
alopecia.
You got that
Alopecia of the beard.
Look, I don't care
Yes.
what ambrosia you bring, all right? As long as it's good ambrosia, I don't mind.
No,
Ambrosia's
we
disgusting,
are
bro.
Ambrosia is so good and you guys are
Ambrosia
high.
hate welcome.
It is
No.
so gross.
It's just
disgusting.
marshmallow and fruit. How do you not like it?
because
disgusting.
that much. It's just a consistency.
It's like sloshy.
It's like sloshy,
Well, you know what?
sloppy.
You know what? You guys are
grossness.
consistently disappointing me. All right? How about that? You know what? You smell bad.
Why did you point at me?
Uno card. I should have brought them.
I'm sorry.
We should do that, actually. Next week, I'm implementing an Uno
I
game.
have
We're gonna have
my
to play
hot-
Uno.
We're playing Uno.
I have my hot girl perfume on right now. Okay?
What is that?
It's Dior.
Deal? Like deal with it?
No.
Dio. It was me. Dio.
It's always Dio.
It's always Dio.
It's Dior. Dior.
Oh. Okay.
Mm.
All right.
What?
Anyways, where have you been? What have you been up to?
Just been doing that little bartender gigaroony,
Oh,
you know?
the gigaroons.
Yeah, learning how to make proper cocktails. It's been a lot of fun.
Are
Fairway
you doing
Land-
the?
You know I'm doing it.
Are
Do
you
you-
are you
doing
put? Are you really putting it on though? Are you doing this?
Oh, no, I... So
Or
I've had...
are you more like this?
Or yeah. Hold on. There's that one.
Whoa!
There's that
No.
one Japanese guy that goes like this,
Yeah,
and he's like cutting up ice cubes.
No,
Did you do
I
any of that?
I don't trust myself with a sword.
I feel like you need to introduce those
Yes.
shenanigans to the Fairway Lounge.
Yes.
Like you bring out like a chunk of ice, but you take a driver
Yeah.
and you like
I agree.
bam, you
No,
like
so
hit
I'm
it,
trying-
crush the ice.
So I'm trying to implement a drink on the menu. I'm trying to sneak a drink on the menu, and I call it Shooter McGavin's.
oh,
And I want to do shooters for happy hour when we start getting a happy hour menu going on. And like right down the street, there's a raw earth. So I was like, it'd be smart if we did like a wellness shot, right? So it's pineapple juice, cucumber juice, simple syrup, and ginger extract dropped in with like, I'm thinking probably vodka.
Ooh,
Mhm.
that sounds good.
Pour it over so it's got that green look so it looks healthy. Throw them back. I think it's pretty good.
I think that's a great idea.
why don't you tie in with like golf grass or something like that? Like
Shooter McGavin's.
Yeah.
I
That's
know,
golf.
I know, Shooter McGavin. But then what if you get sued by Adam Sandler? What if
Oh.
Happy Gilmore himself comes and sues you for stealing his?
Well, then I'll call the next
IP.
one. I'll call the next shooter. Please be happy.
I don't think that doesn't have a ring to it. Like Shooter McGavin's good.
No, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Or I was thinking, this guy came in the other day, kind of a wackadoodle kind of guy,
Yeah.
but nice guy, and he was just like, you know what? If I got paid tomorrow, I'm coming back right here in the morning, ordering myself a golden Cadillac. It's like, what on earth is a golden Cadillac? He's
Right.
like, I don't know, but somebody made it for me once, and I loved it. So I'm coming back for a golden Cadillac.
Did you do some research?
I did. Turns out it's actually like a really fancy drink.
Is it?
Yeah, and so I was thinking we should put that on the menu and call it the Golden Jacket because when you win Masters,
Yeah.
what do you get?
That's
Golden
brilliant.
Jacket.
You
Elliot,
are
I am
amazing.
a marketing god.
Marketing god.
The Golden Cadillac cocktail recipe. All right, let's go through it.
All right.
I don't need to know the backstory. It's 1 ounce of Galliano El Auténtico liqueur. 1 ounce white cream de cacao.
De cacao.
1 ounce of heavy cream, garnished chocolate shaving. So it's a sweet.
That sounds
It's
good.
like
It's
Sweet.
a sweet chocolate thing.
But it's gold.
That sounds good. I like it.
I don't know, man.
I'm in.
It's
This-
fancy.
The sweet, like dairy booze drinks does not really do it,
It does
for
it
me.
for me. An espresso martini. Do you guys have an espresso martini?
We do. We have like a house cocktail one, and then we have just like a classic one.
Love.
Both very good.
Love, love, love.
So a lot of what you've been doing is just work. You're working, man.
I'm a working man.
There's-
But also, Thursday was a little date night, like I
Okay.
mentioned.
All right.
Caught up with my sister, so the three of us hung out, had a couple of drinks, and then I was like, you know what, Lady Jams, you've never seen the Fairway Lounge. Got to show you Fairway Lounge.
Oh, she's never been.
never been, so I had to take her out. Went over there, and the guy at work, and Shadow Kyle, he was like, I make the best margaritas, and I said, oh, you shouldn't have told me that because arriba, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I had a
You
margarita.
don't say.
And then he was like,
Andale.
he was like, you know what's crazy? We got finally the strawberry stuff for strawberry margarita. It's like, oh man, you shouldn't have told me that because arriba
Wow.
had another. Feeling pretty good. Went to Trader Joe's. Did some grocery shopping.
drunk.
Drunk. Got home.
He's like, babe, we need some pork rinds. I mean, I don't know why, but they're really like singing to me right
They're
now.
really speaking to me.
no,
right
well, I
now.
was trying to get those, like, they do these breakfast potatoes there that
Yeah.
are so bleeping good. They ran out.
The hash browns?
No.
The country potatoes.
Country taters.
Oh.
Those country taters are calling my name.
Them country taters. All right. Didn't have any. Devastated.
No.
So we get home and I'm like, it's Thursday, so it's Severance night and it's Drewski night. So I had to decide. I was like, let's watch Drewski. And then Drew calls me and he's like, hey, dude.
Oh, God.
You never hear about these loads I'm loading because all these loads be so much load. I'm loading up a load.
This is what I said.
Bro.
And I
was like,
moment-
bro,
no.
talking these load games is crazy.
The moment I said it, I rolled my eyes because I'm like, dude, phrasing, dude. So I call Elliot, and he's gonna do during TV on the radio like a Survivor recap, right? We're bringing it back. New season, pretty good off the start, but I hate very much so a couple of them. So we start talking, and I'm like, what I want to do is clip these to do like clips of the main episode. People are, just to be respectful of the time. If they want to check out what, just put it out there as like a 15-minute clip or whatever. I'm like, it gives us more loads, like more consistent loads. And Elliot's all, you want what? I'm like, God damn.
So you were drunk also as this conversation
like,
was
oh,
happening.
I didn't just
You want
magically
loads?
sober up.
You want consistent loads, Drew? Drew
Bro's got some runny loads going on.
immediately goes to the group chat and types in
Mm-hmm.
open break. Drew wants loads.
I didn't say that. I just said Drew and his load.
Drew and his loads.
Yeah.
Yes. But don't you know that it had already passed 5 p.m., so he already loaded for
Yeah,
the
the
day.
load was already, the load was
He
done.
already loaded
he
for
was
the
5
day.
p.m.
Just loaded up left and right.
meditation session was already done. All right, well, boring. I wish you could do better.
Yeah, I thought I brought a lot of charisma on that one.
No, you did. I like the charisma, but
And also,
the content, boring.
and also finished the last couple of steps for Dungeons and Do-Overs, which is not tomorrow.
So here's the thing with this. You
Very
may
complicated.
Hold on. You may have seen a link to a live stream of our Dungeons and Dragons, or you will see it later.
You're
It's one
either
of two.
gonna see it live, or you're gonna have to wait like the good little bitch you are.
Yeah, okay. You're just gonna have to deal with it. No, I got an HDMI switcher, and through software we can actually change the angles, and the audio can go in through but there's a lot of back end prep work for something like that to run it live.
Yeah.
So if we can't get that together in a short period of time, we're just going to tape it and cut it down, maybe do highlights or whatever. But so again, you may have seen the link for it live, or you'll see it in a couple weeks. Jess,
Yeah.
okay, big stuff with you.
Yes.
With your new salon,
Yes.
Sirens and Sage
That's right.
Beauty Lounge.
Yes.
And I'm very, very proud of you.
Thank you. You
Oh.
came to see it.
Why am I not getting...
Yay!
There you go. There you go.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Very, very,
Be nice
very,
if you were prepared. So unprofessional. This
very,
guy.
very,
Unbelievable.
very proud of you.
Thank
I go
you.
there. You're doing Colleen's hair
Mhm.
and
Or more like Halloween. You know what I'm saying?
So-
this thing sucks.
Colleen. So I go in there and I'm checking it out. I'm liking the location. I'm very, very
Mhm.
proud of you.
Thank you.
And you're saying
Mhm.
you're getting a plethora of haters.
A plethora.
Now,
I say a plethora, I mean 2.
okay.
Oh.
So let's go through radio show history.
Yes.
You would get a few haters here and there.
Yeah.
Just because you're a woman and men are weird on the internet now for some reason. They have no balls. They like Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate doesn't have balls. Okay. Andrew Tate's a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Know who does have balls? Dudes that are respectful to people.
Well, and you know what? I have to say, I do have a lot of really respectful followers that are men from this show that are like genuinely just very nice
Yeah.
people.
No. We have
Yeah.
our listeners are great, but
Yes.
there was a few
There was a
that
few.
would hate on you. Just
Mhm.
I would say mainly because you're a chick and do chick.
Yeah.
Okay, and because of that, they would be dicks. But
Mhm.
there was like a handful of them. For the
Mhm.
most part, people really love you, and there's a lot of people on the socials that give you a lot of love that are very supportive.
Mhm.
But you were talking last episode that you opened up your brand new salon, and right off the bat, you started getting some feelings of people feeling a certain type of way about your success.
Yeah.
And again, you weren't even being haughty like, oh, I'm successful. You were like, I earned this from working my ass off. I have my own spot. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
And you're not getting some support from the people around you.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Okay. Well, I was in the same location for 8 years, as well as my business partner. We started literally at the same time. So we came and we went same exact amount of time.
Right. Yeah.
And when you would normally think that people that claim to love you and support you,
They would be very pumped for you.
you would think
Yeah.
that they would be like, congratulations, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Like, that's amazing.
Like how we were.
Right.
Like, wow, Jess, that's an
Right.
incredible feat.
Yeah. It's
Right.
pretty
Yeah.
damn cool.
And we instead got the opposite.
Mm.
And I have attempted to take the high road. And
Attempted.
And now that we're on the podcast, where thousands of people watch and
Uh-huh.
listen to this, now we're going to actually tell you the real,
yeah,
the dish.
I
Dish it, girl.
I have reached out and sent my love and my apologies if they feel like if we did not exit in the correct way.
There's no way. Let me help you out before you even continue. You exiting in any way is not going to be an appropriate way to them.
That's and you know
You
what
know.
that's what silk that's silk. That's what Silks explained to me, and because I have really taken his advice on a lot of these things. He, as everyone knows, is an attorney, and I just wanted to be sure I was doing things the proper way. And this is in his wheelhouse, and
Right.
so I've really been paying attention to what he's saying to me and his advice, and I listened to him.
You know what? Jess, if I may,
Yeah.
I have a sounder. I've never tried it.
Okay,
I'm
go
very
ahead.
excited.
Here we go.
Please do.
But I think this is going to be good for the people that may be upset with you.
Okay.
Okay?
Mhm.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you see. You're coping.
How long is it?
I have no idea.
The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and
It's kind of a banger.
coping so hard.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll interrupt it. There you go.
All right, there we go.
It's kind of spot on, though.
No, yeah. So,
So, again, I attempt to take the high road. I reach out, and thankfully, my close friends that have been hearing straight up lies about me.
like what?
Trying. I mean, there's,
Don't give specifics, but like, in a roundabout way, you were telling me off air, this is how I would present it, is that someone of authority
Mm-hmm.
that knows your clientele because they've been going through that salon for a while was told lies to
Mhm.
them about your behavior and how you speak about them
Yes.
outside.
Yes.
And the thing about that, and this is why people need to watch what they say, is that not only are you a business owner, and if people are trying to lie and defame you in order to get your business to become their business, there's a legal liability there. You're also a public figure.
Yeah.
So you can't just go around saying bullshit that's not accurate. And do they also forget that your man's be an attorney?
You know, I don't know. I kind of thought that maybe they would purposefully not mess with me.
Yeah.
And not that,
You were hoping.
well, and I am not one to, I have never sued somebody. I am not sue happy. I don't even throw silks
Like-
at anybody.
Right,
I'm not like,
yeah.
oh, don't mess
Sick
with
'em,
me.
boy.
Literally, I don't. And you know, I have a certified hater that was a listener. You know, that's a woman that is a certified hater everywhere I go.
Right.
I've never even suck him on her, and he knows who it is too.
Yeah.
You know, so I am not one to do that, but now I've gotten to a point, and I'm still, you know, trying to just mind my P's and Q's. I'm in a happy place. I love my salon, I love my job, and I love my clients, and I'm so thankful that I have this like really loyal client base
Right.
that they know me and they love me and they love us. They're supporters of us. Like all the good things in my life, like I am so grateful for. I'm not gonna let anybody else shit on me.
No, and you shouldn't.
Them aside, everyone has been like, thank God you left.
Right. And
Um,
if your clients specifically are applauding you doing this,
Yes.
that's all that matters.
Well, and my business
You know.
partner and I, we like I said, we've worked together for 8 years. She and I personally have never had a singular issue. We've always worked really well together. We share a lot of the same clients because she waxes, so people will come in, get a wax, and then get their hair done after.
Mhm.
Like it's very convenient. And she is probably, and I am not lying, the nicest human being on the planet.
Right.
When people talk on her, I'm like, oh, okay, I get people not liking me. I'm not everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
She's different.
She's just a good person.
She's a really good person. That to me speaks volumes.
Yeah. That means
And-
that you're the asshole.
Yes.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
yeah.
you know what? If that's your prerogative, if that's how people know the truth.
Right. Yeah.
So aside from that,
Everything's great.
everything's really great.
Everything's
Uh,
so good.
Question:
Yeah.
Did you get your raggedy ass feet checked on?
Jess sent a picture. Was it to the group chat?
Yeah.
Yes, because
I was on a roll. All right, I was locked in.
you guys are like, you need to watch Survivor. I'm like, no, I'm busy. So I sent a picture of the view I had, which was Silks playing video games.
At first, I thought they were Silk's feet. I was like, oh, dude.
Oh,
Get the
grimy
grippers
ass.
up, dude. What the
My dog, who is a Chiweenie, has wiener dog short, stubby legs that stick out like this.
Yeah.
And
Well,
even
one
when,
leg goes straight, and
Yeah.
the other one curls to the
Like
right.
this.
so Orky has the picture. I'm going to need you to put it on the screen when this part comes up because Elliot says, damn, Jess, something about my raggedy ass feet. And Silks and I just start crying laughing because we are well aware she has like these goblin feet
Yeah.
that are like
Yeah. Just all-
horrible. She's so cute. And then she
Looking
has
at him right
these,
now. This is so ratchet.
she has these feet that are just like unbelievable.
You
I
know,
don't
you can see like part of a dog and just know how it sounds.
She
Yes.
sounds she
Bow.
you
These
You
are the
know.
most bow kind of feet.
Yeah.
put them in the camera
Yeah,
so everyone can see.
Bow.
She was just minding her business, you know.
Well, I'm glad that you're enjoying your new endeavor and the assholes that are talking about you, Jess.
Thank you.
And they better be careful because your man's be a lawyering. So
All right. Cool story, Jess. Drew,
All right.
what the
Yeah.
hell you been up to?
I give yours a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Elliot was like a 5.5.
7.
You're
okay, probably like
crazy.
You need to have a more eventful life. I'm supposed to be the boring adult,
Where
dude.
I was the one that went out and had fun.
You used to be the guy that would be like, yeah, I got drunk, and it was like a Tuesday, and you did like
It
cool.
was Thursday.
Yeah,
We're
but now
about
you're
to
working.
Hear, no.
Boring.
We're about to hear all about all the Marlboros you smoked. Continue.
Okay, hold on. Hold up.
This is about to be a 10
Okay,
out of
okay,
10 story.
Okay, it ain't. I'm telling you that right now.
It ain't.
Well, no, that's why we have so many supporting cast members coming in today. Very excited about
Is
it.
this an intervention?
So I
You need to stop smoking.
Oh no, you right. Like I noticed how much I'm smoking. I'm like, it's time, Drew.
It's been.
No, it's been no. When I was smoking around like you guys, like I was smoking like 3/4 of a pack a day. That's
Okay.
it. And I was like subsidizing with vape. And I was like, all right, you fell off the wagon a little bit. Like, get back on, whatever.
Get back on that way.
It got to the point where they made the vape juice illegal. So I started smoking again exclusively. Sarah hates it.
Yeah.
She's trying to withhold, from me. If
Oh.
she's there now. She told me the last time. She's like, ain't gonna happen again if you're still smoking. I'm like, right?
I love her.
So,
and the power she holds.
oh yeah, because there's power there.
No, yeah,
A
there
whole
is.
lot of power.
But I noticed how much I was smoking lately, and I'm like, it's too much. Like I have like a license plate frame has my like phone number and like my name and my business name, and like all these people see is me smoking cigarettes out of my car,
Just huffing and puffing.
playing fucking Rings of Saturn as loud as I can, just like I look. Everyone's so worried about me having a fucking heart attack because I look so high strung
Yeah.
all the time.
Drew wakes
Yes.
up, has 3 giant cups of coffee,
Yes.
brushes it down with the hearty breakfast of 1/4 pack of cigarettes,
Yep.
then plays Rings of Saturn. Bro doesn't know the meaning of
That
the word
was
calm.
the most Seth Rogen laugh I've ever heard.
So yeah, I can see where people are kind of worried about my health a little bit. I
Yes.
get it.
And in
Look,
the meantime, he's
listen.
talking about loads and everything. It's
know.
crazy.
I know.
Anyways, I get it. You need to hit that when no one's talking so people can hear it. So anyways, no, you're right. And that's part of my quit job. I ordered finally the vape juice. It is coming. Until it's here, I'm going to be smoking. But part of my diet thing is no longer smoking at all.
Okay.
No randos, no cigs, nothing. Just
Who let the randos in?
yeah. So I've been extremely busy in real estate, which again is a very, very big blessing.
Mm-hmm.
My transaction coordinator, Tammy, who I love, shout out Tammy.
Shout out Tam.
Tammy.
Tam
you're,
Nugs.
you're the best. She's this like smoke show, like super hot, very direct,
Mm-hmm.
very like, Drew, do what the I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, I'm
Mhm.
scared of you.
Yes, ma'am.
You man, about you and me. I'm sorry, because she's the best in the business. That's why she works with me. Like I love Tammy. She has no time for pleasantries. Like if I call, I'm like, "What's up, Tamara?" She's like, So can you sign that?" I'm like, "All right," And I'm very much so like the "Hey, how are you?" guy.
Mm-hmm.
She's not. She's very direct. I actually tell people, I'm like, Tammy's the best. She's super sweet and nice. If you read an email because she's asking for something, she's not being mean.
Yeah.
She's just being Tammy.
Yeah.
Right? So she is so done with me.
Mm-hmm.
She is so done with me because I don't think I've been this busy at the beginning of the year
Mm-hmm.
for years. I think this is the busiest I've been in the beginning of the year, potentially in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just like over it because I'm very bad about going in and signing the stuff that she's sending me to sign and doing like I'm very bad with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very good realtor. I can negotiate. I work well with clients. I'm very good at, advocating for my client. When it comes to the back end paperwork stuff, I'm horrible. Like horrible. And that's why she's so vital. So I can't piss Tammy off.
No,
I cannot piss off Tammy.
don't do it.
I need Tammy so much. So I can't piss her off.
Don't
Yeah.
piss her off.
So the other day, she sends me an email and she's not answering my phone calls. And it's like, she numbers.
Mm.
And I'm reading it like, oh God, she's going to break up with me.
Yeah.
And I can't do that.
Please, Tammy.
Please,
No,
Tammy,
do
no,
whatever you want.
Please,
Please.
Tammy. So between that, I think we're good now. Okay.
Okay.
And that's who I was calling beforehand. Like, yes, man. I'll tell you whatever you put. You do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it right now. But dude, the tension's been tensioning. Okay.
Sounds kind of hot.
And my birthday, it's coming up. I mean, with the pod and being a father and a real estate agent and all this stuff, it's like it's a lot, dude. So I'm just trying to be the 41-year-old man that I'm about to
You're
be.
so old.
I know.
What a fossil.
Let's get
What
Tim
a
in here.
fossil.
Tim, get in
Tim.
here.
Get your bearded ass in here.
Get your big ass beard in here, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim. Get on there. Sit in that chair, Tim.
Hey guys, how we doing?
Come on in.
Let me in.
Let him in.
Let me in.
So, we did get new chairs. So Orky hit me up
Wow,
the
you're
other
so
day.
tall.
It's the boots.
The babe.
New
day.
boot goofy?
So,
Boot goofing.
Orky sent me a picture of these brown like rolling chairs.
Yeah.
They look somewhat comfortable. He's all mission thrift, $10. I'm like, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So I tell Sarah, hey, Sarah, we're going to go there and get these chairs. And she looks at me and she's like, no, you're not. I'm like, what? She's like, they're ugly. I'm like, but Orky picked them out.
Can't
These
have
are
ugly
good.
chairs, Ork.
She's like, no, they're ugly. Have
Can't
a
have
whole
'em.
theme going. So we went inside. We found these one much more comfortable than the old chairs. Tim Welsh.
How you doing?
The Welshman.
The Welshman.
Get
How
up
How
on
are
that.
you guys?
Put your
today?
mouth on
Yeah,
it.
you gotta get
wanna,
kinda close to
make
it.
love
You
to
just
the
gotta,
mic.
you just, a good way to
I'm
test
not
it.
opening my mouth, Jess.
A good way to test it. is just,
Don't open your mouth.
She's like, eat it.
Yeah, don't open your mouth around Jess. Now, you're a man of many talents. You do lots of stuff. Everyone knows it. It's funny, like, whenever we take a picture and post it with Tim, 40 of the comments
Yeah.
are, is that Tim Welsh?
Yeah. Tim
Is
is like,
that Tim?
Tim's
Timster.
hella
That's a
good
famous.
thing.
You're more
Timster.
famous than us.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
everyone down in the South Valley knows you. Like, everyone.
I've just been around for a while.
You have been around for a while, but you do a lot of different things, right?
Yeah, nothing very good. Just do a lot of little things.
yeah.
You know, you're a great tattooist.
I mean, seriously, you suck.
No. You're a great tattooist. You do really good tattoos. And that's maybe the reason why. We'll talk about this. But you were telling me a story, okay? Because you also have a family ranch, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
we got a family ranch.
All
yeah.
right, tell me about that. Because we did this post the other day talking about would you or would you not eat like an animal that was smart enough to say hi and bye. Now, the way I'm trying to like frame this is more like a parrot. Like a parrot's not horribly intelligent. It's mimicking you, right? But if you're hungry enough, right? And like the world's
Eat me.
the world's going to shit. Like the world's going to shit. There's no protein anywhere. You'd kill and eat a parrot. Everyone would.
Mm-hmm.
So why not a cow? But then you started talking to me about you actually have
Yeah.
a ranch where you raise cattle.
Yeah. So it's it's my lady's family, and they've been doing it for a really long time, and they raise their own beef. Twice a year we go out there, we brand cows, and then we do the slaughtering and the butchering process.
So you do the slaughtering and butchering all in house,
Yes.
and you do it in a very humane way, you know. And before we even continue, my daughters, 5 and 7 years old, are now finally starting to put together where meat comes from, right? Where chicken and beef comes from. They're starting to put the context clues together, right? They waste food all the time. And then that's why I tell them, girls, do not waste this food because there was a death associated with, like something died for you to get nourishment. So you need to use every part. And I never understand when like butchers in particular, because butchers are really good about using every part of the animal down to the bones, right? And every part of the animal, it's not wasteful. You're giving sustenance. Or hunters, which is a even way more sustainable way to feed your family in a humane way. You are taking, but you're using it all. But people, no matter what you do, are going to throw fits about meat.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
You know. But you do it on a smaller level, mainly for the family, right?
Yeah, it's much smaller, and we use everything.
Yeah.
And, it's a beautiful thing to know exactly where your food comes from.
Yeah, it's coming from like the farm to table aspect. It's coming directly
Absolutely.
from you to your family. I need to get some of the big leg bones for
Oh,
the
yeah.
dogs.
Okay.
I need some of those, man. I'm being dead
Those
serious.
dogs are huge. You need like dinosaur
Dude,
legs for those
that's
things.
they used to do big dog bones. In Oregon, there's a butcher shop that would do big dog bones,
Oh,
and it was
cool.
just like a whole leg bone
Yeah.
of a cow.
Now, Tim, let me ask you. You've done all the butchering. You've done all the slaughtering. You've got these beautiful cuts of meat. But before all that, you got to look at this thing, and it's like, "Hi, Tim."
Yeah, and they're cute.
And then are you just are you just like, "Bye, cow," and
Yeah,
blocka blocka?
pretty much. Yep.
Oh
They're
my
just like,
God.
Are you are you
Yeah, they're like this.
Are you like the guy from Napoleon where he loads the gun right in front of the cow and the bus pulls up?
It's pretty similar to that. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
pretty similar. Yeah, it's
gosh.
very similar.
So now you were telling me that your daughter, you called her a city girl.
yeah, so she's
Okay,
a
how's
city
your
girl.
daughter? How old is she?
She's 7.
Okay, so same age as Dylan,
Yeah,
and she's seen this process. Like,
yeah, she's kind of grew up around it.
Yeah.
We took it more serious like 5 years ago. So since she was a baby, she's been around it the whole time. But not until recently, she's kind of made up her mind a little bit.
oh yeah, how
Yeah.
so?
Well, she doesn't want to eat meat anymore.
Mm.
She'll help.
Yeah.
She'll help.
She'll
cut up
help.
with the cows and stuff.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
she's overeating them. So
Wow. Okay, so you said she's like damn near vegan now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does she
Yeah,
not even
no,
eat eggs?
No red meat.
No red meat, but
She'll
like
eat eggs.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so vegetarian. Yeah.
Vegetarian in
Yeah.
a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. I love that. She like saw it. You were like, dude, she's out. Like she's totally out.
I don't
dude.
think I could do it either.
It's a little gruesome.
Yeah.
It is a little gruesome, but again, you know, I've talked about this, and I will end the whole meat conversation because there were, when we did that post, there was a couple people that DM me or like said some. I'm like, okay, right, about eating meat in general. Our brains are adapted to what they are because we started eating meat. If you go all the way back, evolutionarily speaking, our brains were smaller, it was less developed because our jaw muscles had to be so large and our jaws had to be large to process ground vegetables and ground roots that were difficult and they were calorie light, okay? It wasn't until we started eating meat when our jaw muscles evolved to loosen up and allowed our brains to expand back here. So the only way that your brain can process the ethical nature of eating meat is because our ancestors started eating meat. Get the over it, dude. I find that as a paradox. It's so funny that you having the ability to think about whether or not killing an animal is ethical is all because we killed animals,
Mm-hmm.
100,000 years ago or more. So, I'm all for the eating meat. And I do want some steaks.
Gotcha.
I would definitely love a ribeye from your family farm. I would
Awesome.
really
Yeah, we'll
appreciate
try
that.
to make that work.
Now, here's another reason why you're here. As we talked about, me and Jess got some balls.
I have, what did we call them? My
Lady balls.
ovaries are my balls.
You got some lady ovaries.
Oh,
Ooh.
cute.
Ooh, what is that?
Stick around some
Yeah.
stickers.
I want some stickers.
Oh my god.
Don't
the
give him
rest
any.
are free.
Don't give him any. You gave him some.
Ooh, these are dope.
It's a snack.
These
That's
are
a
dope.
solidarous
Nice.
Okay,
thing.
so
Snack.
what's the name of your tattoo shop?
We actually just redid everything, so we're gonna be changing the name to 321 Tattoo. That's
Nice.
the address.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, that's the
nice.
address?
Yeah, so we formerly had another shop in a different location. We had 2 separate buildings, and when the pandemic hit, we just decided to bring everything together.
Okay.
But in that journey, we had some tribulations. One of our walls fell, so we had to replace that. That took a couple years to get the construction going. And then recently, we had like a red tag kind of thing on the building where they wanted us to fix our sidewalk. It was just a
Yeah.
liability. So now we have the sidewalk fixed. We went in, put in a brand new tattoo shop. We're just waiting on the last few permits, and we'll be open to the public.
Open for business,
All right.
baby.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
we're going to make sure that you coordinate with us to make sure that we're putting it out on all of our socials. You are here now, and you did some mock-ups. Okay, you got some stencils over here
Yeah.
for our Do-Over podcast tattoos.
Yes.
So as a way to bring us all together, I figured what we need to do is tattoo ourselves with the logo
blood.
to show
Brothers in arms.
solidarity.
We slit our hands and we shake each other's
Yeah.
hands.
Now, there's two people that are being a little bitch made about this. They may be named Schmelia and Schmorky. Apparently, they're too good to get tattoos.
Profanity.
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You should apologize.
I'm not sorry. You should get one. Get one.
Nah.
Get one. Don't be a bitch.
Nah.
Don't be a bitch.
Nah.
Why?
He
Do you
doesn't
live
like
with
my
mom?
art.
Do you live with mom anymore?
No.
You don't like? Do you think Tim's a bad tattooist?
I know he's a great tattooist.
Okay, so then why wouldn't you do it? Are you afraid?
Because I don't want one.
Are you scared?
Because I don't.
Why
want
don't
one.
you want one?
Because I already know.
This is our baby. This is our baby. Okay, we've been doing this for 2 months, and it's going great. And we're taking this.
You
little
can
thing,
always
we're taking it off
cover
our
it up.
teeth. Yeah,
This.
yeah.
like a
If it goes,
snot.
you can cover it up. Not a big deal.
Here's what it is. Drew's like the dad of the podcast,
Oh my
right?
God.
I'd
say Orky's the dad of the bug.
well, no, he's like the single mom that works 2 jobs of the podcast.
Who loves her
All right.
kids and never
Yeah,
stops.
exactly. Yeah. I'm
Working 9 to 5.
exactly right.
Orc is Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I am the fun uncle
Okay.
that gets to come in, be fun, might be intoxicated.
Or maybe coming down from intoxication.
Exactly. Hang out for about an hour or 2 and then be like, all right, take the kids and I'm out of here.
What am I?
You're Jess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the stepmom.
The stepmom.
Yeah. Well, that seems really overly sexual. It's like, how is the stepmom the sexual thing now? When you hear stepmom,
I know.
you don't think
Stepmom,
like
stepbro.
you don't think stepmom anymore. You think like ooh, like the internet's ruined me. If you hear stepmom and you're like getting hard, yeah, you got a problem.
Whoa.
So, anyways, with that, Jess,
Yep.
it's only me and you, girl.
That's okay.
We're the only ones that have the
Alright.
balls out of the crew.
I have the broveries.
You
you
do
know?
have. You
The
do have.
broveries.
She has.
Crazy.
Put that right here. Hold on here. Broveries.
Broveries.
Broveries. Okay, you do have broveries.
I have broveries.
I'm very proud of
Because
you.
they're
Thank
brave
you.
ovaries.
They are
Don't
brave
want
and
to
they
get
are.
kicked in them things.
yeah. Hey, just eat your foot.
Oh my god.
Okay, so who's gonna go first? You want to go first?
I'll go. Yeah.
You want to go first?
Where are you gonna put it at?
Where are you gonna put it?
Well,
Tramp stamp it, I dare you.
I have a tramp stamp already.
Damn it.
Just cross it
Yeah,
out.
cross it out and put it above it.
Well, I was kind of debating like under boob, but then I was like, I don't know. I don't know if the do-over should be under my boob.
Right.
It would be
that's a
funny.
little weird.
It would
Yeah.
be fun. It would
is
be
a
funny
feminine.
though.
It is feminine.
No, it would be funny if you got it under your boob and then you got a boob job because it'd be like the do-over boob.
Okay, what?
Be like
okay,
a new
fun
boob.
uncle, you're drunk. Okay, chill
Go
your shit
home.
out.
Go home, Elliot.
Okay.
You're drunk.
So then I was like, wait, maybe I'd have room. I don't know. Like, I guess maybe this arm. I don't know.
you should do
You
the
wanna do the
shoulder.
inside-
you like the
this
shoulder,
hurts
don't you?
right here.
That- no, I
This don't feel good
I
right
don't
here.
love this,
Yes.
and I don't love this area.
Yeah.
But then I was like, do my rib cage. Like that's dumb.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
That'll
sorry.
hurt too. Yeah.
Or hurt like hell. Get like a leg tap.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm doing mine on my shoulder.
I'm kind of thinking hip,
You want to do hip?
Hip hop.
Hip
hop
hop
anonymous?
or you know,
I think hip's good. Hip's good.
Get a foot
'Cause-
tattoo.
It's like-
ouch, no.
Ouch. Yeah, dude.
I'm just throwing out random
And then
spots.
maybe I was thinking maybe like
Back of neck. Dude, back of neck would be sick. If you did it, you're a G.
I have a tattoo. You'll see it. That's like kind of spiny. Maybe
Sounds
above.
painful.
Maybe above it. I would do the back of my neck if
Got
we
a
have room.
spine tattoo.
Back of
on
your
my
neck would be
spine.
ball.
Why don't we
as
ask the
fuck.
tattooist
If you
what
did,
he believes?
If you did back of neck, you're a G.
I am a G.
Well,
That
then
would be
do the
tight.
back of your neck.
I'd be
Okay,
down.
I'll do it.
Be
Okay.
Down with neck.
Oh, dude. Jess. I f***ing love you, Jess. Man, your broveries are so much bigger than Elliot's small, itty bitty testicles. Itty bitty baby weenies.
He's like Simon Birch.
Who?
Simon Birch.
Are you even paying attention?
I don't know. I didn't get the reference.
Anyways, all right. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Jess will be getting done up. And we have even yet another guest
Even yet.
that's going to be coming in, Restaurateur, Head Chef
Whoa.
himself of Benaddiction. We got James coming up next. This is the best deal in town, Visalia. It's time to step into savings at Brown Shoe Store from now through March 15th during their semi-annual sale. For nearly 60 years, they've been your go-to shoe store for comfort, quality, and unbeatable customer service. And now you can score incredible deals on top brands like Birkenstock, Hoka, and UGG. Whether you need everyday shoes, work shoes that don't hurt your feet, or stylish footwear for a night out, now's the time to stop by. Visit Brown's on the southwest corner of Main and Locust, but hurry, these deals end March 15th. That's Brown's Shoe Store, where comfort meets savings. Big shout out to Brown Shoe Store right there in Visalia. Are we going to do it?
Yeah, hang on.
Brand new sponsor.
Brand new
Sponsor.
of the
Do
Kick My
Over
Boots
podcast.
Up, baby.
Jess is
Very
currently
nice.
getting tattooed right over there, and she is wearing her shoes as well. So go and ask for Josh. He'll take care of you. Their big semi-annual sale going on right now. Anyways,
meow.
good morning. Jess is getting carved up over there. Elliot, you looking over there being jealous?
No, she looks like she. You know, in like Family Guy, when Peter gets like knocked to the ground, he does like the arm fold and everything. She kind of looks like that.
She's currently getting tattooed by Tim Welsh. Dude, thank you so very much for coming down. And we got Chef Graybeard himself, James Caples. What's up, dude?
How you doing, man?
Chef Grayardi.
I'm doing good. Now, I'm glad that you're here because you're a very even-tempered man.
Yeah, I'm very much known for my even temper.
You're even-tempered.
and how nice I am to people when they're rude and not nice.
Yeah, and you are definitely not a person to argue with people on TikTok. That's not a thing.
Definitely not at all.
You-
Ever. I don't do that.
You are hardly opinionated at all.
I don't know anything about what is happening in the world of
No.
politics.
LOL,
Nothing
same
whatsoever.
fam. Yeah, I'm same.
He's all, yeah.
I don't know what's going on today.
And I love it. But before we get started,
Uh-oh.
we need to call my beautiful busty blonde wife, Sarah. Let's call her up. Okay.
Have I been arguing with your wife on TikTok?
No.
yeah. I got him, baby. I got him.
No.
Get his ass.
No.
Hello.
Hi.
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 How you doing? How you doing?
Hi. Good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm great. Thanks
So,
for asking, Sarah.
I just wanted to call real quick. Oh, you're sitting with, we got Elliot Jams right there. We got Chef Graybeard himself, James Caples from Benaddiction. He's in here.
Hi.
Shout out Benaddiction.
Thank you.
Jess is currently getting tattooed, and I'm up next.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am, Sarah. Listen, I love you.
Bro.
I love you so much. You are the light of my life. But this shows solidarity.
Oh my God. You know what you get for your birthday?
What?
A new apartment.
Are you paying for me to get my own apartment, Sarah?
Wow.
No.
Talk
No.
about a successful couple of months.
Do not get a tattoo.
Sarah, listen to me. You know how much this podcast means to me. This is our baby. It is suckling on my man nipples right
That
now.
has nothing to do with a tattoo.
Yes, but listen, Jess can't be the only one getting tattooed, and Elliot's a bitch, and
Yes,
Orc has no
he can.
tattoo. He has no tattoos. So look, it's not big. It'll be hideable. I'm not going to be putting it in like an open place where everyone's going to see.
It's on his knuckles.
It's not on my knuckles. Okay? It's not on my knuckles.
Do over pod.
No. Look, I'm going to tell you the area it's in, and I think you're going to be okay with it.
Continue.
Okay. So you know how I have Sarah on my upper right shoulder?
Oh my gosh. Do not start filling up your bag.
I'm not. This is the last tattoo I'll get for a couple years.
It's his butt cheek.
No. It's the last
It's going down the crack.
tattoo with my name.
Okay.
Sarah, what if he got it on like the left butt cheek, so every time he walks by, he can smack him in the do-over?
That is so terrible.
Sarah, listen. It's not going to be, no one's going to be able to see it. It's going to be on my upper left.
Elliot, Orc.
Hold on.
Come
Listen.
on, please help me out here.
I'm not getting one.
Orc's not mic'd. Thank God Orc's not mic'd, because he'd be like, yeah, bro, I'm not going to do it. Because that's what Orc does. Orc says no to tattoos, but he has none. Elliot has a little babish tattoo.
A little babish.
A little babish tattoo.
Yeah, because I'm a babe.
It's not like that big, Sarah, and it's not, you can't see it. It's like going to be on my upper left shoulder. It'll be hidden. No one's going to see it.
Oh gosh, no way.
Yes, Sarah. I have
Sarah,
to do it.
hang
Sarah,
on.
you knew this was going to happen.
Well,
you knew this was going to happen. We
Sarah,
were talking
hang on.
about this on the last podcast.
Sarah, you're in the car right now, right?
Yes.
What if you get here before Drew sits down, he can't get the tattoo?
I am coming to stop it. I will come to stop that.
Don't come.
She just starts beating up Tim. Just starts throwing hands at him.
Sarah.
I will. I will.
would
I'm on my
comes
way.
flying
I'm on my way.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Look, I love you. This is going to happen. I'm apologizing in
No,
advance.
it's not. Goodbye.
Yes,
I'm
it is.
coming.
No, you're not. Oh man, I might be in trouble. A little bit.
I don't know. I think she might be down for it.
I think she knew this was going to happen. See, here's the thing. We talked about this in the podcast. Never, not once. I said directly, Sarah's not going to be down on this. She's not going to be okay with it. I'm going to do it anyways. She didn't say a word.
I guess I don't understand with the plethora of nonsense you have going on already.
Yes.
Why this one is the one that's like
Because she
no mas.
It's funny because she got with me with all these tattoos, right? And she's just not a tattoo person. She has none. She's not.
She was like, what you have is fine, but no more.
But no more. And then I have proceeded to get like 12 more since I've met her. And I always get in this position in which I kind of, Sarah, I need to do this to cover this, da-da-da-da-da. And I've got more work. Then I got her name tattooed on me. That was the last tattoo by Tim. Okay.
Well, he does a great job.
He does
Shout
a great
out
job.
Tim, the
Well
Welshman.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, I'm thinking to myself, like, look, it's going to be in the same area on the left shoulder. You can't see it. I'm going to have a shirt on. No one's going to see it. So no one's going to even know it's there except for me.
Drew gets this tattoo. He's like, all right, guys, time to unveil the summer of no shirts.
yeah. After the march to Maui,
Yeah,
we're gonna be
he's
like, I'm all ripped. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go shirtless, baby.
I love how the phone call went like, Drew's like, Sarah, don't come. Sarah.
I'm gonna come.
Hey, Jess, how you feeling? Good. All right.
She's already like a quarter of the way there.
I know. He's like, dude, he's banging through this, man. All right. So now, as she's getting carved up, we got to go to James. What's up, man? How you been?
I'm good. I'm as good as you can be owning a restaurant these days.
Beard's looking great.
Explain. I saw you do like a sit-down kind of post where you're talking about price of eggs, and
Yeah,
do you think that's artificial?
I apparently got real freaking controversial there.
How so?
That was weeks ago, and I to this day am still getting like multiple hate comments a day from the far left and the far right.
For
It's
what
fascinating.
reason?
Nice.
It's just been amazing.
You're uniting the
hold
far
on,
left and far right.
I'm
Unifier.
You are
uniting
the mesh in
everybody
the middle
again.
that brings everyone together. It's like how everyone has the sword in there, and it's
Exactly.
like big tits, and everyone loves big tits.
James is
Yeah.
big tits.
Yeah, James, you are big tits.
Hey, there are worse things to be.
So, okay, what okay, let's start this way. So, you basically got you said, "Look, we need help. Business owners need help.
Yeah.
The price of eggs are crazy. Help me out." So, why is the far left mad at you?
All right. So my thing is, I came into it with a solution. Like before I became a chef, I got a bachelor's degree in political science with an emphasis in political thought. I'm not going to be like, help me without having thought out what help it is I'm looking for and what I want. So the largest tax collection agency in the state of California is the small business. We collect sales taxes on all the transactions that we take in. We hold them in a bank account. They sit for us, and then we deposit those into the state of California quarterly. Sometimes monthly if you've fallen behind, and they're like,
Right.
you have to do it every month so you
Right.
don't fall further behind. So what I put up a video asking for was the ability for restaurants that focus on breakfast, brunch, bakeries, things that use an absurd amount of eggs, to be able to keep some of those sales taxes to help us deal with the added cost of having eggs up to $150, $160 for 15 dozen when you buy them through your distributors. So, why is this controversial, and why did that?
Yeah,
make
yeah,
both
that's what
the
I'm trying to
left
figure
and
out.
the right hate
Yeah.
me? So most of the comments that came from both sides were actually not comments of any actual substance whatsoever. The internet, or social media in particular, has turned people into hate zombies.
Yeah.
And, like people think that the bots, their purpose is to like make the other side hate you.
Right.
And like make the other side mad. Like, if I'm a liberal and I see the conservative bot arguing something insanely conservative, I as a liberal am supposed to be like, oh, angry bot.
Yeah, go yourself.
But that's not actually how they work. They're a sounding board to make the people on their side more hateful. And what happens is you get to these points where these people see a business owner who looks like me, And they automatically assume on the left, they are automatically making the assumption that as soon as I say Gavin Newsom, I'm attacking him.
Okay.
And the amount of these comments that are coming at me being like, how dare you attack him? This isn't your fault. I'm like, I didn't attack anybody. I asked my governor for help.
Well,
Like,
I will. Gavin Newsom looks like a Bond villain. He looks slimy.
Okay. Can I clarify something? I'm not a fan of Gavin Newsom at all. I'm politically fluid a lot. I have a lot of liberal beliefs. I have a lot of conservative beliefs. Like, so I'm in the middle. I'm middle America. Okay. I can't stand that guy. And I understand that running California is more like being a president because so many people live here.
True.
I get that. But his anti-consumer protection practices, specifically with the utility commissions,
oh, yeah.
make me hate him. And also the high-speed rail. The high-speed rail, I'm over it.
All right.
Okay.
High-speed rail, we can talk about. I don't know if you know this, but my first job out of college, the one office job I ever had, was I was a policy specialist for a political action committee in the Bay Area, and my job focus was on high-speed rail.
Right.
I at one point, my job was to read every single bill going through any state or federal legislature that had anything to do with the high-speed rail whatsoever, and become an expert on that bill and like write a recommendation about whether or not the political action committee I was working with should support it.
Can I have a question for you. Why has it cost $100 billion?
I mean, it's a couple,
and it's still not complete. 20 years later.
So it's a few different things. The one that we don't talk about enough that needs to be a bigger issue that we do discuss is lawsuits by farmers instead for eminent domain.
Eminent domain on the land.
So what would happen for the longest time would be somebody would fight their eminent domain, and they would go into courts, and they would get an injunction to stop building. Well, we've already signed contracts for all sorts of things.
Right.
So we got to pay those contracts, but we can't build. So that's cost. Now we're also paying lawyers to fight all these lawsuits. That's cost. Sometimes we lose. Now we got to pay for their lawyers too. That's cost.
Question.
Now,
Okay.
what should have happened is all of that stuff should have got dealt with in one foul swoop.
Yeah.
But one injunction would get cleared, somebody else would file another one.
Mm.
And that injunction would get cleared, somebody else would file another one.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What the high-speed rail was originally supposed to be and what it's turning out to be, especially now that it's seemingly still not completed, what would be a better allocation of tax revenue in general, especially for the Central Valley? I would say specifically for the Central Valley. Like, and let's do a broad stroke here. Let's say all the way down to the Grapevine, all the way up to like Modesto, right? So that stretch. What would be a better allocation of taxpayers' money? A series of desalination plants to try to tunnel in water from the bay to us, so it brings our water problem
Where are
more
you gonna
manageable.
build those?
A series of them.
Where?
I mean, fucking anywhere.
No,
Hey,
not
hold on,
not
wait,
anywhere.
wait,
Not anywhere.
No.
You're going
I'm
to propose
saying-
something. You got to tell
Okay.
me. We have the California
Okay.
coastline.
Right.
Which part of the California coastline are getting torn up and
How about
messed
this?
up
How about
to
this? How about
provide
this?
desalination?
That is for smarter people to just. I'm saying in general. I'm not a city planner. Okay, I'm saying in general. Okay, let's say the proposition of somehow making it work to tunnel in desalination plants to get water to us would be cheaper, it'd be more effective, and solves a problem here in the Central Valley. What the high-speed rail was originally supposed to be, and what it is now, $99 billion later of taxpayer revenue, still not complete 20 years later.
Okay.
And the bones of it are up and down the 99. What value is that to us? And how is that helping anyone here? I mean, you can laugh, but it's still a waste of taxpayers' money.
Hold on. I 100% agree with you, but you're mad at the wrong thing and the wrong people. Okay. Who does it benefit? It benefits the farmers who have been fighting it all this time, who have been able to keep their political power. It benefits the lawyers who have made billions fighting this. It benefits all of the people who don't want it to exist. Because I'm going to blow your mind right now, all right? One sentence. I want you to remember this one sentence for the rest of your life, because it is the answer to so many problems in our country. Boondoggle is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I have no idea what boondoggle is. It sounds dirty.
I thought it was Boondock Saints for a second.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Norman
So-
Reedus,
Yeah,
where are
yeah,
you?
yeah.
Let's-
Yeah,
he'll
those
solve all
are
our problems.
That's my man right
A
there.
boondoggle, it's a political term for a very expensive thing that doesn't do anything. It's this thing that you invest a bunch of money in that goes nowhere. It was a word that the Valley conservatives have used to describe high-speed rail for 20 years.
So what's
right?
what are we gonna do? Okay, so where we're at now.
Tort reform.
Okay, or tear
That-
down, get
tort-
the resources
no,
and
tort
stop.
reform.
Yeah.
Tort reform. The answer, because the thing is, you want to build those desalination plants. You know
Yes.
what's going to happen?
What?
The groups who don't want them are going to file lawsuits, and they're going to stop them. And we're going to go through the exact same problem trying to get those built that we're going through
Okay,
trying to get high-speed
so-
rail built because boondoggle is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Okay, so then let's meet in the middle. How about we do none of it? How about we stop allocating funds for this? We stop f***ing doing it. Just
I've got a
scrap
better
it.
idea. I got a better
Scrap
idea.
it.
How about we have tort reform? We get rid of the ability to file useless lawsuits that make it impossible to advance our society, and then we use our tax dollars to actually make society work for the American people
Hold on.
instead of
I
making
will-
it only
I
work
will
for billionaires.
Argue, James, I will argue people, the government in particular, and I'm not saying any type of reform or any type of eminent domain is a slippery slope. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that in the public, the betterment of the public, when you are taking someone's land.
How did they get that land?
Hold on. You're taking someone's land that uses it to gain revenue. If they are not subsidized for that, they're taking a loss. Is that not?
They're being subsidized.
Okay.
You get paid when the
Okay.
government takes your money, takes your land.
But is it equal to what they pull off the land that's being taken? That's my question. Is it?
Yeah. Well, yes, depending on what you're looking at, right? Because the problem is are you looking at the actual financial viability of that land? Or are you looking at some farmer's emotional attachment to the land
I'll give
that
you that.
his great-grandfather
I'll give you
got
that. I'll
when
gi-
they
I-
just
I
took
will-
it?
Hey, I will give you that. But here's my other question. As the rail stands right now, do we need it?
Yes.
No.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't need
Yes,
that
we
rail.
do.
We do not.
Do you have any idea
I need to be in Modesto in 40 minutes.
Do you have any idea how much commerce that rail will bring into this valley if we get it completed?
I don't think. I think the ticket prices would be insane. I think that if you were going to...
Why? Have you ever
Because
ridden
it costs $100 billion to make.
You're not trying to make a profit off
And
the
then-
building. It's a
And
public
why,
utility.
hold on. And why do people not use trains these days anyway?
Because the trains we have in this country are useless. Go to Europe. Go to Asia.
No. If I go somewhere on a train, I rely still on people to pick me up and take me around. I don't have a fucking car.
Same thing at the airport. You fly.
That's a different story. If I'm like if I'm flying to like New York or Vegas, that's different.
Okay, do you
That's
understand
different.
how high-speed trains work?
Yeah, I understand how high-speed trains work. I think it's a fucking waste of money. It's stupid. I think from the whole idea was about subsidizing the Central Valley, commerce.
The whole
and
idea-
I feel like a lot of people that were wrapped up in that, there was a lot of backhanded fucking deals. A lot of contractors got huge, multi-billion-dollar contracts.
Yep.
And it was
And then they got
stupid.
paid for years to do nothing because the farmers that you're on the side of for some reason spot them in court for months.
We're ag, dude. This is an ag. The Central Valley is ag. Okay.
You know, it's not as much ag as you think it is anymore. Like, we have a lot of other commerces. We have a lot of other industries.
I highly disagree with
and
that.
we have to be at a point where we accept that the ag, if they want to claim we're this giant industry who's going to be responsible for everything and we all have to kowtow to them and we have to not allow people to come in from the Bay Area and Southern California because of how great they are, then they need to actually be using the land, because most of the land that they were trying to take was land that was not currently being farmed. There's plenty of land out there that's not being farmed. Hold on. I shut up. I shut up and I let you talk. I'm not going to let you do that. You fucking stop. You let me go.
Okay, go.
I kept my mouth shut that whole time.
Go.
All right. So they're either going to need to farm that land, which they can't do because they don't have the water because the Dresniks have freaking taken it all, or they need to be building some kind of like power structures there to help us gain the power we need so that PG&E isn't raping us every year.
PG&E too.
But they're not doing any of that. They're sitting on the land. They're letting it gain value. They're farming it as rarely as they absolutely have to be able to keep whatever rights they can get and have get. And like, we're at a point where as a state, we have more people than 16 contiguous red states combined. You could combine 16 states that connect to each other all together into one giant state. It still has less people than California. Like, if we are going to be that screwed as a state, we need to start standing up and saying we need to get something out of it.
And I will agree to an extent. I still think it's a moomatard idea. I think it's dumb. I don't think we need it.
You think it's a boondoggle, but a boondoggle is a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Hold on.
I thought it was
Hold
Hornswoggle.
on.
But I think he's a wrestler.
We gotta call Sarah again.
Oh, okay.
She's not gonna answer this time.
I don't know.
It's because she's outside.
Look behind you. Ah!
Sarah?
Hello. Yeah.
Sarah.
Uh-huh.
Say hello there.
Hello there.
Sarah. Do not say you're going to lock the house.
I'm going to.
Sarah.
Oh, I thought
I'm
she was
not
in the
joking.
drive-thru.
Sarah. What can I do to smooth it over with you so I can get this tattoo? Where can I place it on my body that no one will see it ever, so I can be in solidarity
It's
with Jess?
microscopic.
It's only what?
Bottom of your right foot.
Oh my God, that would hurt so bad.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that's
And
the
it would
point.
heal
And
fuck up.
And it
You're
would
welcome, Sarah.
Look, and it would like tickle at the same time.
Look, Sarah, it's not big. It's not big. I'll send you a screenshot of the one Jess is getting right now. Okay, hold on.
Is it big?
It's not big.
It was too big to go on her neck.
All right, here. And it's cute, and it's very nice. Look, here. I'm sending this. I'm texting it to you right now.
On the bottom of his foot now. I was just joking at first, but now I really want to
What
see
about
that.
what about like a vertical calf tattoo?
Okay, look at where she's getting it, and that it's cute, and you can see. Look at it. Look at it.
Hold on.
Wait, what are you watching?
Yeah, what are you watching?
See, I like that for Jess.
Okay,
That's
you
cute.
like it for Jess, but look, I'm getting one that is specifically made for me in an area of my body that no one's gonna see it, Sarah. No one. It's gonna be hidden. What if I make an agreement that I won't get another tattoo for at least 5 years?
20.
5.
20.
10. Wow. 10 years.
25.
No. 10 until I'm 50.
And then he's gonna get a big 5-0 on his chest.
No. No more tattoos. No more tattoos until I'm 50 years old. Tim doesn't like that. He doesn't like
He's
that.
like, my best customer.
Yeah.
Well,
You put my kids through college. No.
like, what am I going to do?
Sarah, no
What?
tattoos for 10 years. I promise.
So what happens if you do?
You get to shave his eyebrows for a year.
You are in charge of that. I will not steamroll myself into a situation in which I'm getting more tattoos or anyone else is getting a tattoo that I need to get. I'm not going to do it.
What if
I
you
know,
make
but
it?
you've already gotten like 10 past the time you
Sarah,
said you
I
wouldn't
know.
get any.
Sarah,
Hang on. Let me be the diplomat
Yes,
here.
yes,
Because
okay.
I thought of a great punishment. If he gets
Okay,
another
good.
tattoo, you take away his computer
Deal.
and you sell it in front.
Forever.
And you sell
Hey,
it in
look.
front of him.
Okay, on today,
I'll sell it
February.
for $1.
February. Oh God, I'd
And
be
I'll
so
buy
pissed.
it. I'll
All right.
buy it for the $1.
Yeah, February
Well,
28th.
Elliot, it's yours.
February.
Okay,
February 28th, year of our Lord, 2025. If I get another tattoo without your consent, I will give you my computer. It's on record. It's on the internet. Lives forever. This is a binding contract.
All of your computers and you don't buy another one.
Deal.
And I get to have them.
And Elliot gets to have them
Okay, where are you putting it?
on my left shoulder.
Oh my gosh, I hate this.
Sarah, no one is gonna see it.
I really think you should consider the bottom of the foot.
I think so too. It'll be painful.
Yeah. Look, look. What you're getting out of it nets you more than what I'm getting out of it. What you're getting out of it is knowing I'm not stupid enough to go get another tattoo without your consent.
And knowing how much it hurt for him to get it on the bottom of his foot.
I
And
know.
and I will tattoo your name on the bottom of my foot.
No, don't do that.
Okay, so then yes.
He's like, damn it, I don't get another
What-
tattoo.
You're Look, you're netting something big here. You're netting something big.
And the thought of me having all of Drew's stuff
Pisses me off.
I know.
I know. Elliot, it's all yours, Elliot. That's fine. This is like it.
This
Like,
is it.
This is
I'm
it.
not even doing 10 years. It's gonna be forever.
Okay, this is it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, round of applause for Sarah, everybody.
Yeah! I'm getting new computers! All right!
You know, you know what the funny thing about
Drew's
this
gonna cave.
is this is our life, dude. Like me and Sarah are constantly in a state of debate and
Negotiating.
compromise at all times in
Wait,
our life.
you guys
and
are
everything.
you guys are like the U.S. and China. They're just constantly at war,
Yeah,
but not at
she's
war.
gonna give me
but
major-
great business partners.
She's
It's weird.
gonna give me major boob like tariffs right now, and I'm like, man, I don't want to pay them tariffs. She's like, yeah, but if you want them, you're gonna pay these tariffs.
It's all right. For $5 million, you can get a gold card.
I love you, Sarah. Thank you.
We love
You're
you,
the best.
Sarah.
Bye.
We love
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Like,
Hey, Sarah, everybody.
Wow.
I'll need her consent to get another tattoo.
yeah, I noticed she threw that in there.
Consent.
Consent.
Yes.
I mean, consent's very important.
It is. It is super important. All right, back to yelling at James. James, I know that you're very opinionated. You have not convinced me that the high-speed rail is a good idea. However,
What if we made a high-speed railgun instead?
that I can get behind. Okay.
And we shoot it at the moon.
Now, but I do agree with you to
Chairface Chippendale style.
Hey, I do agree with you on some points. Okay. If they aren't using the land and they're just taking advantage of that, that's okay. I don't like that at all. That's just a power grab. I get it. If I felt like there was a lot more utility, because I do feel like desalinization plants would have a lot more utility to them, at least for us in the Central Valley, I can get behind that more so than the idea of maybe commerce down the road, especially how long and how much money this project has taken. So I do agree with you to an extent. I just don't fully agree with you. However, that discourse is what makes America, America. We can agree and also disagree.
James, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you could fix one thing in California right now, money free, meaning you say it, you put it into policy, and it goes.
Please
no,
say PG&E.
No ifs,
Please
ands,
say
or buts.
PG&E. Please say PG&E.
Oh, yeah, no, immediately PG. Like there's
PG&E would get. If I
He's
had
like-
unilateral power, I would PG&E
James is
so
like,
hard.
mega monopoly, PG&E gets stronger.
I probably shouldn't say this on a no, I'm not gonna say this on a podcast.
What? I can bleep it out. What?
My company's password for PG&E in a mixture of like
Or bleep this part out.
a mixture
this
of
part
like
out, or-
of symbols and
Yeah.
letters spells out.
Okay, bleep that out.
Yeah, bleep that out.
That is a long password.
It is.
But it's
It
worth
is.
it. It's worth it.
It's a super strong password.
It is.
Was it like 20 characters?
Oh, yeah.
So like
what's-
5 different
What's your
symbols?
specific problem with PG&E?
I had to have somebody text me a copy of
God,
it.
that's ridiculous.
Bleep that out. Cover that.
Yeah.
Blur that. So how? Okay. So PG&E. Now we could see eye to eye on this. Why do you dislike PG&E so much?
I don't believe like
Because before you get started, I thought when Dyer came in,
yeah.
which believe it or not, I thought he was going to be a lot different than he ended up being. Like I thought he was going to be a lot different, right? He came in, he was a very moderate, middle writing
Oh yeah, I mean,
kind of
like
politician.
he's not a far right guy.
No,
he's like a very old school Republican.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
He's definitely not a very like modern
No.
like everything's going to go Christo
And
fascist Republican. Like,
One of the things that he said when he came in was like, I want to bring in alternative sources of energy and options to Fresno County. That was music to my f***ing ears. I want that so bad, especially with all this ag land that we have. We could do miles upon miles of solar farms that are feeding into us to subsidize our energy usage.
yeah.
That has not happened. None of those plans, and I don't know why, but what is your main issues with PG&E? Please tell me.
So I don't think any industry that is societally necessary should have shareholders. I think that having publicly traded corporations in things that have to exist for society is bad for society because it takes away the focus on the delivering the service, on
Right.
delivering whatever the good, the need is, and it puts it on making sure that we're reserving enough in the end for those shareholders. PG&E in particular, we're in a situation where we're on like 4 years in a row where they said we absolutely have to raise rates or we're not going to
And
be
they
able to
had
make it.
record-busting profits last year
And
with
then-
6
yep.
individual rate hikes, in which, to give you an example, I have rockin' fucking solar at my house. Yes, I have an electric vehicle, which does cost to charge. However, my solar array at my house, the first year I had it, my true up, because it's a big house and it's old, so it's not that energy efficient, my true up the first year I had it was $900, which for me was great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Last year, same level of usage, it was $4,000.
Boom.
Wow.
$4,000.
That's crazy.
That's f***ing insane, especially when I'm paying for God's gift to solar arrays. Shout out Supreme Solar Mike. We love you. The best panels you can have. I'm generating like 130 kilowatts of energy on average per day. And I still owed $4,000 because of the rate hikes and what they're doing. They have unilateral control over anything that they want. They
we
can just
have
throw out
we have
numbers.
the commission that's supposed to be there to protect us.
Those are
but-
all ex-employees.
Yeah, they're all yeah, exactly. So yeah, it does not make sense at this point in society to be in a situation where something like public utility that we have to not be controlled by the government.
Question to you. Because I said this on the last pod. I'm like, in the Central Valley in particular, for how expensive it is to run and how it is a necessity because of the temperatures that we hit, every single tax-paying citizen of the Central Valley, because we have to use it. It's not like the Bay where it's like 72. It gets to be 114 degrees here. We have to use PG&E energy because we have to use them to not die. Like old people will die, young children will die. Like we have to have temperature controlled spaces. Do you feel like we should have a state subsidy for us because we have no other alternative option?
I don't think it should need to be a state subsidy. I think the state should just take control of PG&E. Like it should be a state-run agency. And I'm at this point now where like I've spent my whole life, I'm a pretty far left person, and I've spent my whole life accepting that we can't have government ownership of certain things because on the right they say that government ownership of private industry is a bad thing because that's communism.
Yeah.
But here's where I'm at with that. I have not heard a single Trump supporting Republican on the right have a single issue with Trump talking about wanting a sovereign wealth fund. They all seem to be very supportive of a sovereign wealth fund.
What is a sovereign wealth fund? For the people that don't know, because I know, Elliot.
Because I 100%
Do you-
know. And,
you
I've
know
just
what it
been-
is, right, Elliot?
I've just been sitting here listening to make sure you guys are factually correct.
Yeah, we want to make sure that you know what a sovereign wealth fund is.
So a sovereign wealth fund is something a lot of countries have. They exist in a lot of places. Most of them are known for their democratic socialism. They are basically a hedge fund that is owned by the government so that when the government invest money into a company, the people of that government get returns for those shares that they bought.
So it'd be like if Norway bought shares into Shell, the people would get the money.
The subsidies.
Well, that money, like the return on those shares would go into the general coffers, and then that would replace some of
Dude,
taxation.
It's crazy how much I know. I'm
So-
like so smart. It's
so a
crazy.
good example.
It was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
It's word for word what I just said because I'm
By the way,
so
Jess,
smart.
It looks so good.
Let me see.
It's
Very
super
nice.
good, though. It's so good, dude.
Yeah, that is.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that is pretty special.
All right.
It's very special.
Very special.
All right, Jess. Now you gotta lead the political debate with James.
Okay. I've got some things to say.
Yeah, you have a lot to say, Jess.
As a small business owner and diehard MAGA chick.
Yeah. We
So-
know that you are riding Papa Don's dick.
So They actually proposed a sovereign wealth fund back in 0809 when we were bailing out the banks and the car companies, and we were told we couldn't do it because it was communism, socialism. And Biden also tried to do one, and he was told we couldn't do it because it was communism or socialism. But Trump said it, and everybody's cool. So if we are now okay with the government having ownership of private industries in certain circumstances, I don't see any reason why one of those circumstances should not be us having control of our own power and utilities so that we are no longer subsidizing these billionaires who own enough shares to be getting returns on these PG&E.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fucked up that there's just no other option.
Yeah.
Because they have...
It's a publicly mandated monopoly.
And that's kind of the thing that... Well, they own wildlands, and they
don't take care of them.
They don't take care of them.
Wildfires.
They don't put back.
We pay for it.
They don't put back into their infrastructure at all. And now, look, I will say, I like the way that they pay their people. I like that. I think that's good that they do. But it's almost like because they pay their people so well, they kind of justify over the consumer, which is forced.
Like they're paying you that well so that you don't feel crappy about how bad you're screwing everybody by being somebody who works for PG&E.
Like they're so important. Like we need PG&E so people can have lots of money in the Central Valley. And like I know that SoCal Edison does something similar. When they lobbied Newsom, because it was Newsom, and to slow down the rollout and the payoff of solar expansion, which were leading the United States. We were number one in solar expansion. There was a ton of state subsidies that were going through for people getting solar on their home. We were leading the expansion of solar. PG&E, SoCal Edison, the Utility Commission lobbied Newsom to basically say, we're not going to really pay back anymore. Like, we're going to do this, anything after this date, the buyback rate is going to be. Then batteries started rolling out. And they're like, okay, well, now they're going to use batteries. So now we need the buyback to be so small that we're still getting paid. And they lobbied him, and he allowed that to go through.
Yeah.
And it's a unilateral job of the of the Central Valley and California in general. And I think it's crooked behavior. I think it's so fucked up that this is what's going on. And I have said it a billion times. I've gone on my rants plenty of times on PG&E. What recourse do we really have? Like, I would figure someone would have sued them by now. Someone that has more money than I would have the resources and the time to put towards over PG&E, but it doesn't happen.
The problem is that the people with the money and the resources are benefiting.
All shareholders from PG&E.
So, you know, we have gotten to a point in our society where we are so separated between the 10% of people who are doing 50% of consumer spending in the United States at this point, and the other 90% who are just, you know, buying the bare necessities because it's all we can afford. You got a point. Like you go to the store, you see like a 4 or 5 ounce bag of potato chips is up to like $3-4.
Yeah.
It's half a potato.
Higher.
That's
it's like
half
$6.
a potato.
Well, here's the other thing. Save Mart. Like, how has no one sued them for false advertisement? You are literally not saving money by shopping there. You're shopping at one of the most expensive stores around. How has no one sued them for false advertising? You can't even call yourself Save Mart.
Yeah, you go to Trader Joe's. They're not trading anything. It's just I'm buying a bunch of stuff.
That's bullshit.
I mean,
Trader Joe's.
I tried to trade my Latvas for theirs. They would not do it.
Is Joe even his real name? I mean, you know what?
Who knows?
We need a background check on this guy.
So this is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to swap out the batteries.
Yes, but I got an important question to ask James when we get back.
And when we get back. And then, James, you've been tinkering.
Yeah, the wheel of ADHD landed at a weird spot last week.
The ADHD, it's so funny. We'll talk about it next, but you're like, yeah, I got something to pitch you. And I was like, oh, yeah? And then boom, 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 boom. Like, and I'm like, whoa. Calm down, James. I'm just going to have you come on in and we'll talk about it.
Ease us in.
So he's going to be pitching people for something potentially big.
A tent.
And that's coming up next.
A big tent.
We would like to thank Horn Photo, the official equipment sponsor of the Do Over podcast. Those guys have been around for almost 100 years. That's legit. They're right there in the Villaggio, and all through the month of February, they are offering 20% off photo restoration services as well as photo archiving services. It's not only cameras and stuff over there. They have frames, they have printing services, they have everything you need. It's the one-stop shop for all of your photography needs. Horn Photo, making memories last since 1937.
Big shout out to Horn Photo, the official equipment sponsor of the Do Over podcast. We love you. Remember, it's going down this weekend, so you're going to see it on our socials, but they do cool things like trade in, trade up. Trade in some old camera gear, trade up to something new, extra 10%. Shout out Horn Photo. We love you. Now, back to it, boys.
Okay.
Back to it. Elliot,
Yes.
you said you're going to have a question for James.
Well,
because
I have a question for the class.
And just to clarify, we have James here because he's an interesting dude. He's a business owner. He's a very opinionated man.
Very
but
colorful shirt.
He's also a very smart man.
Thank you.
So he knows how to back up his opinions. And I think that's one of the things that frustrates me the most about the Twitter world and the social media. Most of these, like, for example, the hypocrisy of people calling other people sheep, either on the left or the right. When you do that, but you're parroting basically only things that you've heard on your pundit of choice, what's the sheepish-like behavior? You know what I mean? I hate that. If you're going to have an opinion, at least back it up with something. Most people don't have a...
Have it be your opinion.
Yeah.
That's all I want
Yeah.
out of life. I want to be able to talk to people where I'm having a conversation with somebody who's telling me their opinion, not somebody else's opinion that they have actually given no actual critical thought to.
Right. And that is frustrating. You know, I was telling, I've said this a few times, but I really firmly believe this. There are people in this world that, and let's be fair, it's not like a specific side thing because we're
definitely not.
No, there's stupid people on the left just as much as there's stupid people on the right. But there are some people that are smart enough to know what they don't know and are smart enough to realize that maybe they cannot grasp certain subjects or are unstudied on them. Then there's stupid people that are so stupid they think they're the smartest one in the room. And I feel like social media is kind of flooded with those dip.
It's a George Carlin quote. You have to be smart enough to know that you don't know anything, right?
Right.
That actually goes all the way back to Socrates.
Man,
Socrates
I'd be a genius.
Socrates' original philosophy was the only true wisdom is knowing that you know nothing, right?
Right.
Like you have to have a basis of maybe I did not know that.
Right.
And I will always, I constantly, my wife, she makes fun of me because we found out it's an ADHD thing, but I like to
Right.
argue on the internet for fun. Like
Right.
it's a dopamining thing.
Right.
I just really enjoy finding somebody to just go back and forth.
But
with.
why?
It's a good time.
And I see you slam on fools all the time, and it'll be like a range of subjects. A lot of them has to do with like taxes,
Yeah.
right? And
So-
you'll explain how the this works, or like the stock market.
And if somebody comes at me and they say something, I do not just immediately respond.
Right.
I check what they said. And
Yeah.
that's the difference between the way I do things and so many other people. I don't read a meme and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And then I just start quoting that meme everywhere in a day.
Because a lot of people
I see the
do
meme
that.
and I'm like, I don't know about that. And I look it up and I find the details. I actually go in and read the bill.
Right.
If you tell me something's in a bill, I'll read the entire text of that bill trying to figure out what exactly it's supposed to be.
Have you ever had a meeting of the minds on the internet where you actually change someone's opinion?
Oh
or
yeah. No, it happens all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it comes at it's an interesting thing. I think the best national person that does it as well is Pete Buttigieg.
Mhm.
But being from Fresno, which is a city run mostly by conservatives my entire life, in California, a state run mostly by Democrats and liberals my entire life, you end up with an ability, especially working in a very public industry like I have my
Right.
entire life, where I
And your
have to talk
restaurant's-
to people.
It's a popular place.
Yeah.
Like, people know it. You know.
Yeah,
People
and-
love it.
And I talk to people all day, every day of every political whatever in the restaurant. And it's given me the ability to speak about what are typically considered liberal ideas or progressive ideas, but word them in conservative language that people better understand. And so often what happens is that when you challenge somebody's political ideology, it triggers the fight or flight reflex. Like
Well, because it's so wrapped up in their identity.
Exactly. Especially when you've wrapped up your religious and political identities together. When somebody challenges whether or not like that thought that you have is a good thought, that feeling you have is a good feeling, or the feeling that a good person would have, it's really easy to just immediately like, all right, put up your dukes. We're
feels
going
like
for
a
fight.
personal attack at that point.
And there are times where I come at it that way. Like if you come at me, it's a part of our corporate culture at Benaddiction, actually, that you get what you give,
Right.
You know, and that comes from like, if you come to work for me and you give me 110%, I'm going to give you 110%. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you continue to work there and that you're happy while you're there.
Right.
If you're coming in and giving 10%, I'm giving you 10%. If you want to leave, take off. You know,
So
like
what was
that's-
Elliot's percentage when he was your employee?
Dude, Elliot was always great. I was sad when Elliot left, but you know,
That's right.
People got to move on.
Yeah, I see what you were trying to do. I kicked ass. I kicked ass at that diner. All right? It was sad.
Now, Elliot, what's the question that you had for James? Question for the class.
Question for the class. And everybody can participate. Tim, you too. So pay attention. All right. He doesn't have headphones. Don't listen to him. We have, 46, 47 presidents in total of our, of our
47.
history? 47? Who would win in a Royal Rumble setting of all the presidents put into a Royal Rumble?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Okay.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Oh, yeah.
Kennedy was pretty young and spry.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
but there's a lot.
But he was a lover.
Teddy Roosevelt was like, he was the Rough Riders, man.
He
Like,
was
that,
Rough
that
Rider.
dude rode through.
I know.
no,
Okay, but
no, it's
you
Teddy
gotta-
Roosevelt.
you gotta
He
think
would-
about
he'd-
it.
no.
You got to think about it, though, because
There's nobody. He would be an 80-year-old man still beating the crap out of 20-year-olds.
Okay,
Like,
but
that's just the guy he
you
was.
got to think of Royal Rumble here, all right? So one starts, then it's 2, all the way to 47, right? I know there's some, so it'd be like 42 or however many,
You know,
because some people came in twice.
Barack was also very much so in shape. He's a tall, big dude
Okay, but
that's
let me-
in shape.
Let me ask you, who's taking out Taft? Taft was a big boy.
Was he?
He was really heavy.
Taft's taking out himself,
Yeah, he
having to
can't
be
move
on
around.
his feet for more than 10
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
But I
can't
mean,
move around all that
how
well.
are you going to get him?
He's just sitting down in the corner and giving up.
I know, but how are you going to get him over the ropes is what I'm saying.
Oh, you got to get him out of the ropes. Well,
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
It's
you're
Royal
teaming
Rum-
up.
it's
Like,
Royal
that's
Rumble.
that's a team up, right?
So
Like,
I thought of somebody because Teddy was definitely my first thought, and I thought, well, maybe Lincoln, but he's 16. He's too early in the rotation. I think Eisenhower takes it.
Why?
He's 34, so he's towards the end. He's towards the end of it, right?
I mean, I feel that
former
one,
mil-
that good feat of strength, like
Former military,
Yeah.
a general, so he knows a thing or two about combat. I think Eisenhower, he's got it.
Jimmy Eisenhower. See, Barack was fit, but like Barack does not give any kind of like I can handle myself in a fight.
He
energy.
doesn't give me fight. He doesn't
Like,
give me
and
fight.
I got the same thing with Kennedy. Kennedy was young, but I don't see any part of
Yeah,
Kennedy that's like he wasn't.
See, he seems like JFK
Goodwill
seems-
Hunting, you know, like
Didn't
he was
Barack-
the
didn't-
kid in the bar.
Didn't Brock grow up in Chicago, though?
That was Hawaii.
No, he grew up in Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah.
did he?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Well, no,
Okay. I thought he
come
grew
on.
up in
See,
Chicago.
I feel like JFK would be like one of those guys that brings in like his security and has them while he
Yeah,
still waits
yeah.
outside and tries
He's
to
not-
come in
he's
to
not from
steal
the
it.
South End.
I don't know. I feel like Eisenhower's got this one,
Now, boys.
or maybe W.
Dub-
It's in his
Dubbers. Dubbers.
W. He's got W in the name.
No, well, I think
and he's
it's-
late. He's super
Look,
late.
if it's anybody other than Teddy, I'd say it's Andrew Jackson because that dude was just mean and big.
Yeah.
Like,
But coming in
Jackson-
at 2?
But yeah, that's the thing, right?
That's-
Super, not 2.
What was he?
Jefferson was 2.
Oh, Jeff. No, he was 3.
Adams was 2.
Jefferson was 3.
Check it. You have the fucking internet, Elliot. Check it.
Adams was 2.
Oh yeah, Adams was 2. Jefferson.
Jefferson was 3.
And Jackson was like 5, right? No, Jackson's way up.
He was like 1, 2, 3.
Anyways, as
He was
they
7.
search
He was
that,
7. He was 7.
let's get into the meat and potatoes of why I wanted to invite you in here to come and talk some shit. Okay.
Who let the bumblebee in?
Yeah, you're gonna hear that feedback, but it's oh god, what is this?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I'm not going to say that.
Happy birthday, dear Drew. Happy birthday to you.
That was so sweet.
Happy birthday, Drew.
Okay, so actually, Sarah delivered these to me at the salon last night.
Did she?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so she didn't go to Target, that liar?
Well, she might have done that.
She was with me.
Oh, God. What is this?
You gotta open it and.
Over cookies.
Okay.
Oh, my God, dude.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god.
Oh, my God. I
Well,
love
show the camera so we can all see.
There's even a Marlboro.
There's even a pack of cigarettes.
A pack of cigarettes. So naturally, that's the first to go.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm going directly
Yeah,
for
okay.
the smoke. Oh, my
Okay.
God. Thank you so
All
much.
right. That is so
Oh, my God. I
so
love you guys.
cute.
All right, hold on. Should I read the cards?
You should read the card
Okay.
that I definitely wrote and signed myself.
Good job. Proud of you.
I didn't.
I'm gonna read the card.
Not a soul.
All right. Okay. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Drew. Hope you enjoy your cookies as much as I enjoyed making them. Keep on rocking the pod. Melissa Parr, Queen Bee Bakes. Thank you.
Shout out, Bakes.
We gave her a shout out because her cookies are freaking incredible. Here, just to kind of show you here. Look at this.
Look at that.
That's a Marlboro.
That's a cigarette. A Marlboro.
I love this. All right, hold on.
She should have made you a mint cookie and then it been menthol. That would have been
Right.
That
would
would
have been funny.
funny.
All right, let's see here.
All right.
Okay, it's a kitty.
Meow.
Okay, it says.
He's getting a little emotional. He's getting a little emotional. Oh, our big boy's grown up.
Thank you. Thank you.
How old are you gonna be, you old man?
I'm gonna be 41.
You old fart.
I know.
Look at him
Thank
go.
you so much. I love you guys. Thank
Yep.
you.
It was totally all me.
Elliot's
welcome.
the one that-
Elliot did so
Now,
much work on this.
Now get a job.
You guys want a cookie?
I might have
Yeah.
a cookie. Yeah. Oh. You gotta chew it into the mic. That's why we gotta do ASMR.
Hold on. Here, this is it. Here. I'm also getting tattooed, so thank you so much. You're great. Thank you guys. I love those.
We did a lot.
See, wait, hold
So
on.
much of it was us.
This is the problem with getting those really fancy cookies because they're like little works of art, and I'm like, man,
Give me the cigarette one.
no, those are mine.
All right.
I'm like, I don't want to eat them because they're like little works of art. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Oh yeah. Diet starts Sunday.
Start Sunday.
We're gonna eat these when we can. I love you, Jess.
I almost-
Thank you.
I almost
Thank
thought
you.
about getting canes for breakfast.
Really?
I was also hilariously hungover.
Okay. So back to it. Okay.
Jess, you joining us?
You gonna join us? Okay. Fair enough.
Rude.
Don't say that about our product.
Okay.
I am offended.
It's
Back
a little
to it.
rude.
We were talking about.
What were we talking about?
I forgot.
I think you were getting tattooed.
James.
Yep.
You said that you've been tinkering around with developing your own political party.
Yeah, we're going with party. We're leaving the political off for the time being. We're thinking
Just a party.
We're thinking more.
Elliot loves the party.
We're thinking
Question.
more Black Panther, less Democrat, Republican.
On
Okay.
a scale of 1 to Mario Party, what kind of party is it?
Oh, I mean, 9. I don't know how to judge that scale.
Okay.
You know, it's a pro workers party. It's think of it like the working class support version of what the Black Panther Party was in the 1960s. It is a platform. Hopefully we can put together some people, some funds, and make it a little bit of a movement that is geared towards returning us to the economy, just the economy, not the social anything else of the
So
1960s.
it's purely working focused, purely economic, with really no social standard behind it.
I mean, you know, it is about there's a freedom and equality prospect to it, obviously, you know, like, but the idea behind it is I want to help the working class get back to a small business ownership class and get away from the gig economy.
Which means what?
The gig economy that we've had that you know, it's such a bullshit term. It's the worker exploitation economy that we have had for the last 15 years.
I would say longer than that, but
Well, I mean, specifically tech, the tech focused gig economy, the DoorDash, the Ubers, all of these things that are designed to make you a contractor,
yeah,
but not a business unto yourself. So that these companies whose shareholders are making billions of dollars can profit off your labor while you get scraps, when we could just have somebody create a network where small business drivers who are licensed, like the old, like the taxi medallions. When you owned a taxi, most of those for a long time were individuals who owned their taxi and they ran their business and they made their money and they paid for their medallion, right? And then like it got to a point where like, okay, it was a taxi company and they held a bunch of medallions, but they were still working for that company. They knew who their ownership was. They knew who was writing their check.
Right.
And that gives you a certain amount of power with your boss. But now we're at this point where all of the drivers are just fighting each other on this app for the scraps that the shareholders will leave them, because nobody's taking the time to just make the app where the small businesses can work for themselves.
Well, I would also argue that we have a problem with like these multi-billion dollar companies not giving fair pay to their people and, you know, cutting their hours so they don't have to give benefits, paying them as little as possible for as long as possible, because they treat you more like a disposable item.
Yep.
Like you can go because your job can, you know, I can replace you overnight. And because of that, there's a lot of people that are working jobs that literally cannot afford to live, therefore need to be subsidized by other people in their tax revenue. And I feel like if there's going to be families, you know, and shareholders and people profiting billions and billions of dollars, they need to pay their people appropriately.
One of the things that's in the taxation portion of the platform that I wrote out for this party is that, you know, the federal government knows who you work for. They get all the same data that you get when you file your taxes.
Right.
They know how much you owe. They get everything you have. You do your taxes, you send it in, they compare their number to your number, and they say, yeah, it's close enough. And they either write you the check or they accept the check you send them. If they know who works for who, they know which company is making profits and which company isn't, and they know which workers are getting federal aid and which aren't, why are we not taking those funds from those big companies and repaying them? Why are we subsidizing the shareholders of Walmart and Home Depot and all of these other companies who are paying people minimum wage all over the country? And I'm not talking about California's $16.50.
Right.
I'm talking about the $7.25 in the states that are paying federal, or in the case of tipped employees in some of these places, I think it's $2.35 still.
So the argument is always, well, if you don't want minimum wage, get a better paying job or get a more skill needed job, learn, do this and that. But what I think that a lot of people don't account for is that, but these jobs are still needed. It's kind of like, you know, during COVID, who were the essential workers? People that worked at grocery stores, people that worked Comcast, people that worked serving food.
Yeah.
These were the essential workers that still needed to work, still getting paid. But then we on them, and it's like, I always give the argument, not everyone in the world can be middle management, okay?
Yep.
There's still people that are going to be pulling 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week at a normal job that still cannot afford to live. And then we, in turn, have to subsidize their life. I think that's bullshit. So what's the name of the party, and what is your, you send me a comprehensive plan. I want you to pull it out. I want you to tell me.
Pull it out, baby.
Yeah, pull it out.
Yeah.
Give me another one of them cookies.
Yeah, pull that out.
No.
So-
What, you don't want to share?
No.
What, you think I got cookies?
No. Here, come on.
So the official party name is the Workers. I don't know where I'm showing this to. Is that
Right. All right.
the Workers Solidarity Party?
Workers.
What is it? Otter?
No, that's a beaver. So
Because he don't give a damn. What do you think, brother? Oh, yeah.
So I have given this entirely too much thought. It started out as just like a little mental exercise. I actually started writing this platform years ago. My notes app in my phone is a treasure trove of ADHD nonsense.
Yeah.
I have a full subway system for the city of Fresno drawn out in my phone. I've got a like 75% done redrawing the 50 states so that the 48 contiguous states so that all of them have the same population roughly. California is 6.5 states in that situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
If you take Nevada, we become, I think that one makes, or if you take Las Vegas, it makes it like the 7th.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll show you a map later of like when I was
You
saying.
made a map?
No, when I was saying earlier, the 16 contiguous,
Yeah.
I've got a map on my phone of which states and like how many.
Dude, there's 5 states. There's 5 states in the Bible Belt that have a lower population than Fresno County.
All right, hold on. No, I'll blow your mind right now. If you take North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, and Nebraska, just put those 5 states together into one giant state, the combined GDP and population is about 1/2 of LA County.
No shit.
What would you call that?
That's
Crazy.
10 senators.
What would you call that state?
The Great North Plain.
So if you're talking about, let's say reform, right? And because we are such a large state with such a densely populated, I mean, it's more than 10% of overall population of the United States. And you have, and this is just accurate due to the numbers, we have equal representative power per state. So it's what, 2 senators per state?
For senators, yeah.
2 senators per state. But if you have a state that has a population that's 10% of another state, that is that's an unequal power balance as far as voting power is concerned.
100%.
Do you think it should be based on population and not on per state? Because that kind of bloats the government a little bit.
I mean, if we're going all the way into like
In the mic,
restructuring, if we're going all the way into like restructuring the Constitution and the houses of government, restructuring the houses of government, I would actually, at this point, the way our country is structured, do it similarly to the way like the UK has the House of Commons and the House of Lords.
Right.
Like, look, the billionaires want to control everything. Let them have their house. All right. The Senate, they want to have the 2-senator Senate where they get to have their say. Fine. And then get them 100% out of the elections of the president and the House of Representatives.
What do you mean?
Overturn Citizens United, put strict funding caps on what people can donate per person, make it so that the American people are the people funding our elections, so that those are the people who are getting elected, not the billionaires choosing our people for us and then us getting to choose who they chose.
Because in our election laws and campaign laws, it allows businesses to act as an individual.
So it's interestingly complicated on purpose. So Citizens United says that because corporations are made by people, they are people. But you still have funding caps directly on the campaigns themselves.
Right.
But you can have political action committees who have unlimited funding, whatever. They can do however they want, whatever they want, because they're corporations and that's their free speech. As long as they are not coordinating with the campaign.
Got it.
So the problem is, a fun example from this past campaign. At one of the CPAC conventions, CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference, CPAC rented a hall from like 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., didn't rent the hall from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., and then rented the hall again from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Why is that a problem?
Because from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., the Trump campaign rented the hall.
Okay, I still don't understand.
They're coordinating.
Oh,
like
okay.
they are
Got it.
obviously working together in coordination.
Okay.
But they're just skirting the rules using like, oh, well, this is them and that's us.
And I'm sure,
but like obviously they're all together in the same conference.
Well, and I would say that this is not,
and that's not a them thing. That's both sides do it.
Both sides do that.
I just use that example.
But
like both sides do it.
I am with you that we need to trim that up a little bit. but I want to know like what your main aim is with this political party to
All right.
start a movement. Like, how are you going to get the word out? The
So-
Do-Over podcast? That was a smart choice, James.
So smart.
Because so many people watch us. Millions, Elliot.
Millions.
So-
millions of people.
Some say billions. I say billions.
That's
really
how much
low.
money I have.
Billions and billions. And I think by the end of this campaign, we might even hit trillions.
Trillions, Elliot?
Some say-
Elliot
I
Trump.
mean, after he gets his Gaza going, world's the limit.
It's a good mall. It's a good strip.
It's a good strip. Strip mall in Gaza.
It's a great strip.
Now,
The Lord knows he loves a strip.
Speaking of strip, Stormy.
All right, I'm done.
yeah, can't trust her. Can't trust her.
Can't trust her.
It never happened.
She's a liar. I know that. Better than anyone, really.
All right,
James.
all right, I'm done.
James. So what are you going to do to put this into
All right.
action? What are you
So
going to do?
the thing is when I say more Black Panther or less Democrat Republican, I mean that. Like when you think about the Black Panther Party, like obviously not the more radical side of the things that they talked about, but they fed kids. They had medical centers. They worked in their communities to make their communities function around the blockades that had been set up. And that's what I want is I want to find a way, and I don't know the right answer. I'm just a chef with ADHD. I came up with an idea. I'm trying to figure it out as I go. But I want to have a situation where we can find a space that we can buy or lease, where we can set up pads to help people start their businesses. Set up a container store, or like a container.
Streamline the process to make it easier.
Yeah, there's no good way anywhere in this country to get educated to start a business. You go to school, you're going to get yourself a giant amount of debt to get your business degree, and they're going to teach you a bunch of Jack Walsh bullshit that has destroyed our economy. We need to refocus our entire lives on the small business economy. We need to get our asses off of Amazon. We need to get out of Walmart and Target, and we need to start rebuilding the small businesses that we used to have that we got rid of because the generations before us got tricked by those big corporations.
Well, it's also a convenience factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a convenience factor because of what they did, and there should be laws against it. Because what happened, Walmart did it, and then Amazon came in and did the exact same to Walmart. They come into communities, they price their prices under the cost to the local business, even though they are selling it at a loss, and they do that until they put the local business out of business. And then once the local business is gone, they jack their prices right back up higher than the local business. That's why you're paying $5 for a bag of potato chips that has half a fucking potato in it.
Yeah, and that's wild, dude. The prices are out of control.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not convinced that the economy is going to be bouncing back as quick and as everyone is expecting it to,
Stock
especially with the stocks haven't, and this new administration came in because I firmly believe this. Unlike the last time, and to be fair, the last time Trump was president, you see like in my opinion, some kooky. There was a couple things that he did that I thought was great. The Right to Try Act, I thought was a good piece of legislation. He funded NASA, and I'm like, that's
Space
good.
Force.
I don't like the public kind of manipulation tactic of flooding, like you were saying, flooding the news cycle, so people don't see like the unilateral power grab that is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that's exclusive to Republicans or Democrats. What I'm saying, though, is that this time around, when he was elected, I think it was a direct response to the choices that the Democrats have made specifically in regards to the economy, specifically in like the soft-handed nature of rates and the movement of money when buying residential real estate, and how I understand why they did it, because they need to temper inflation, but also being so soft-handed in the recovery aspect of it 2-3 years later, I think it hurt them. I think that's specifically that and Biden's health, mental health, and then switching your candidate for 7 months, right before it. And you got to admit, you went like this, but like Biden was too old.
You cannot say Biden's too old and vote for Trump. You
No.
can't.
I
You
didn't.
can't.
First
You
of all,
can't say Biden's got mental health problems and vote for Trump. You can't say those things. I'm
didn't-
not saying you voted for Trump.
No.
I'm just saying that, like, I make that face at the idea that anybody legitimately had a problem with Biden's age and health. It was completely
Hold on.
a manufactured
wait,
bullshit thing.
whoa, hold the phone. Let's be fair. They're both old as all.
They're the oldest presidents ever.
However, if you put them side by side and listen to them speak, one clearly struggles more than the other.
He's had a stutter his entire life, Drew.
Dude, I don't know. He's not.
He's never
Look,
been a great public speaker. He was not hired to be an orator.
I'm not going to sit here and have that debate. I'm just saying my perception. Okay, so let's make it fair. My perception of that is that one is clearly sharper than the other. That's it. That was my perception of it. Okay.
Okay.
That is my perception.
Okay.
Now, whether or not, I'm not saying I agree with Trump. I'm not saying I agreed with Biden. What I'm saying is that if you put them side by side and they're both having conversations, Elliot, what do you think?
Skill issue.
No, honestly. Like, if you put Trump and Biden side by side and they're both just...
I mean, it honestly doesn't matter. Biden's not president anymore. Trump is.
I'm aware.
Everybody needs to let that go
But
and just move
it's
forward.
not-
Don't put him on the spot about
Christ
it.
Jesus. It
doesn't matter.
It's not a point of letting it go. I think that the response of the American people specifically was based on economic problems.
When you look at the world as a whole and every election that has happened over the last couple of years, countries have voted out whoever was in power during COVID response. Not during COVID, but during the response era. If they were on a left, they went right. If they were on a right, they went left. It's a worldwide, every country.
Well, we do this essentially every 4 to 8 years. We get a Republican winner, and then we go Democrat, and then we go Republican for 8 years, then we go Democrat for 8 years, and we go Republican for 4, Democrat for 4. We're going to do Republican for 4, and we'll probably go Democrat again.
Are you saying
and nothing
that-
will ever actually get fixed because that's how it works.
Are
That's government.
Are you saying that we switch up because America likes some strange here and there? They're like, I'm done with my marriage.
Look,
I need some strange.
Hey, we all hang on. Let me go for a second here, because we all love a foxy redhead, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man has problems all the time because he's in love with one, right?
Yeah.
And even though she was horrible in the Raimi trilogy, she made very rude and mean decisions, all to get Peter jealous through the whole trilogy, mind you. We still love Mary
All
Jane.
right, let it go.
Hang on.
You can make
hang
a
on.
point.
But then sometimes, you see that indie blue-haired chick, and you're like, whoa, that's different. I like that.
Yeah.
And then you
What's up
go,
with that?
then you spend some time with her, and you're like, I kind of miss the redhead.
Yeah.
And you just
ghost shirt girls.
you go
Elliot.
back,
ghost shirt girls.
You go back and forth, and you're never gonna find that Felicia Hardy.
No,
because nobody wants to go in the middle. See?
And why? Can I ask you something?
I just covered politics.
Hold on.
Perfect, mind you.
He broke it down for all you idiots.
I found world peace, by the way.
Question to you, James, because I'm about as open-minded as anyone that feels strongly about things can be. Because I don't, subscribe to a single political party.
Mm-hmm.
I have beliefs or at least opinions that can skew both ways. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then I would be categorized as what, a moderate or middleman?
You can't categorize somebody without knowing what their specific beliefs are. I mean,
Well,
so just so you know, statistically speaking, in political science, people who say they're moderate actually typically hold stronger political beliefs than people who say one side or the other.
No, I feel strongly about the use of capital punishment, the Second Amendment, being able to arm yourself and protect yourself. I also feel like women should have the right to choose. I'm really don't understand why we keep pedophiles and rapists that are dead to rights alive. But I also believe that gay people and trans people should have a right to live their life equally amongst all of us. And I don't believe that we should force any religion and lower the bar in church and state in any way when it comes to making laws or in schools and public institutions. So I believe that if we're going to profess freedom in general, we need to go back to the idea of religious freedom and what's confusing about this?
No, I was mulling over your ideas and trying to figure out where I would land you politically because you asked me how you would be.
If you
I
wanna-
was trying
it's
to
like a
decide
personality
where I
test.
thought you went.
I believe that
'Cause
government.
You're
should-
not really libertarian, or at least you didn't sound like a libertarian. But like outside of capital punishment, you sound like a Democrat. I mean,
Not if I believe.
Who loves his
I'm in-
2A?
Oh, I'm really big
the
on 2A.
Democrats have no problem whatsoever with the Second Amendment or owning guns.
I
am no
accurate.
supporter of the Democratic Party right now. I do not like. There's a reason I'm out here with my own political agenda and
Right.
platform. But like the Democratic Party as a whole, the party platform, the only extra restrictions they want to add is having better registration systems and being able to add the registration onto a computer database. Because right now that registration form stays
on
in a
paper.
card
It's
in
paper.
It goes to a storage place that's full of rats, and when we need
Well,
to actually
no, but like on a
access
state,
it,
but
they can't.
that's not 100% accurate because of
Yes, it is.
it's not. So I mean I know this because I know the laws. And there are many restrictions that are kind of arbitrary as far as 2A is concerned when it comes to per state rules. How many bullets
So you
I
have
can
a problem with
No,
federalism.
hold on. Magazine sizes, categorizing weapons as assault rifles or SBRs when they're technically not, or restricting certain guns that are on an approved list and not. When it comes to just standard firearms that function the same way. These individual rules in blue states tend to be a lot more restrictive, arbitrarily speaking. And if you look at the percentage of people that own weapons, which there's millions and millions of them here in the United States. Hold on, let me finish. Millions of them. The vast majority of them are not criminals, and they are people that follow the laws, but they restrict the user. Restricting the user that is a law-abiding citizen is bullshit, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I feel like it's a right. We should all have the right to protect ourselves in the way that we see fit. Period.
Which state do you think has their gun rights right?
It's a hard question for me because I understand the ebbs and flows of danger of being able to walk in and buy 2 ARs and walk out at the age of 18. I understand especially when you're dealing with undeveloped brains and stuff. But in the terms of public safety, to let go or sacrifice certain freedoms I rather have that risk for us to live the way we see fit and find a solution to protecting those institutions rather than restricting our ability to protect ourselves, because that could be a form of tyranny. That's what I think.
Okay. But
So
you
I
didn't
can't
answer my question.
No, and I'm telling you, I can't answer your question. I have only lived in California, so I have armed myself, bought guns only in California, which is.
So you've armed yourselves and bought guns.
Yes. Systematically.
Which guns have you not been able to buy that you wanted to buy?
Oh, I can give you a list.
Okay.
I can give you a list,
Okay.
which is bullshit.
But which ones?
You want? Okay. There's literally a firearm registered list. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It is a list of approved firearms because legislators in the state of California went and made arbitrary rules to make the manufacturing process of just standard handguns, 9mm semi-automatic handguns, which is just a standard handgun, to make it almost not profitable for the company so they don't try to issue California-approved firearms. So new weapons that come out, or a new gun that, say, would work for me or my wife because it needs to be a little bit easier to use, is not on the approved list. Therefore, I cannot buy it. If I have a 16-inch rifle, okay, and I'm like, okay, well, I want something for home that's a little bit smaller, so I want a 10-inch barrel. Now that's a felony. That's stupid. They operate the same way. It's dumb. It's a dumb thing.
So what's the difference between a 10-inch and a 16-inch?
The ability to hide it in your coat or pant leg.
People can do that now.
Oh.
And again, you're thinking that you're making a big point. You're not. I don't give a. It doesn't matter. It's a constitutional right.
I didn't think I was making a big point. I was answering his question because you said it was arbitrary, and I was saying it wasn't.
It is. It's fucking arbitrary.
But it
is
just
a
explained
level,
why it's not arbitrary.
It's a level of control to keep people from arming themselves, and I don't agree with
At what
it.
point are we allowed as a government to control what you can arm yourself with?
I don't know. Is it in the Constitution that we are allowed to arm ourselves? So then why are we
grenade
bringing
launcher?
buy one? I don't give a buy one.
Okay.
Does that sound crazy? Because I don't give a shit. If you want to
So,
blow something up bad enough, you'll find a way to blow something
the
up.
cartels in Mexico are a problem?
In Mexico?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, James. The cartels in
Do you-
Mexico are
do
the
you
problem.
kn- do you
do they
know-
own the government? Yes.
Do you know why Trump agreed to not do the tariffs when he first agreed to not do the tariffs?
Why?
Because they pointed out to him that the reason that the cartels are so well armed is because the guns are coming in through Arizona.
Okay. And?
So the big problem that is the huge border problem with the drugs and everything
Yes.
is being funded and controlled by the guns that are being purchased in Arizona and taken
Okay.
over the border.
Well, I don't want to give up my rights for that reason.
I just don't understand how you can tell me that you've got your guns and you're armed and well armed,
yes.
but your rights are being
No.
imposed.
I didn't say I was well armed. I said I've bought 10 guns.
Okay, so you've
I
got
would
10
never
guns,
electively.
but your rights
I
are
would
being
never
infringed.
electively, because guns that are manufactured here are going other places, say that I want less rights when it comes to me purchasing armaments in any way because guns are going elsewhere. I don't care.
Okay, let's talk about the Second Amendment because I enjoy
Yeah,
the Second
let's
Amendment
talk about
conversations.
yes.
Let's talk about the commas. You understand how commas work in the English
Yes,
language?
don't talk down to me.
I'm
yes,
not.
I'm aware of how commas work.
Okay,
James.
so where the commas are placed in the Second Amendment, what does the Second Amendment say?
Right to bear arms? Or is it right to, comma, bear
Well-regulated militia,
arms?
the right to bear arms.
Yeah. The well-regulated militia is what they're referring to. Where is the well-regulation? Where is any regulation at all in you saying I should be able to buy anything I want without any sort of anything? Where's the regulation? Because
What
it's
I'm
well-regulated. The words well-regulated are
Well,
in.
Yes.
They're there. So
but-
where's the regulation in your whole speech you just gave?
So where does, and I'll answer your question with another question.
No, I want a question. I don't want another question.
No, no,
Answer
no.
my question.
No.
Where is the regulation
You can argue
in
that
yours?
the people themselves are well regulated, and it comes down to self-regulation. When it comes to militia, when you're arming yourself, you can join as a gun club. I can argue that Sun Mountain is a well-regulated militia. Okay,
Where's the regulation?
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It's
Regulation is in it.
it's a
Well-regulated militia means there has to be some regulation somewhere.
People to regulate themselves.
That's not regulation.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. We
So
do it every fucking
I
day.
get
What
to
are you
make up
talking
my
about?
own laws.
All right.
I get to make up my own laws because I get to regulate myself. That's that North Jackson whatever nonsense of like I'm a self-regulated. I don't follow the Constitution, man. That's not reality.
Now, I will say that the picking and choosing, specifically when it comes to lowering the bar on church and state, when it comes to conservative voices, is also problematic to me. So, what is your opinion on either teaching creationism, prayer in school, or even using dogmatic, reasoning for regulating of females' bodies and stuff like that?
People should have
How is that even allowed?
People should have all the prayer in school they want to have as long as no teacher or administrator is leading it and as long as it is not being forced on any student.
What about
If a group of kids wants to meet up before the first bell and they want to have a whole freaking church service before the first bell rings, I don't care. Go for it. As long as nobody's being forced to be there and it's not being led by an administrator.
what about Christian or religious charter schools getting federal state
Absolutely
funds?
not.
Shouldn't
Absolutely
be allowed.
not.
Okay. So then why do you feel like it is so supported by people that are claiming to be constitutionalists, but they are always, one of the biggest reasons, or at least that I learned when I was going through school, is that a religious freedom was the main reason why we even exist.
Yeah.
So why do you think that those same people are getting so gung-ho about lowering the bar of church and state in general when that is just like verifiably anti-American.
So-
Doesn't matter if it's Christian or not.
So it depends when you say anti-American, if you're talking about American history or American mythology. When we talk about American freedoms and we talk about our founding fathers and the pilgrims coming here searching for religious freedom, that's kind of a myth. The pilgrims were kicked out of Europe because they were trying.
They were booted. Are we kind of like Australia, where we all criminals?
Not exactly, but
We were rebels.
they were
We were
trying
rebels.
to
We were rebels.
force
We were rebel riders.
their ultra puritanical religion on other people. And Europe was like, no, we're not doing that here. And they got sent to the United States.
So you're saying because we were trying to force religion as Puritans on other people, that's why we were booted here?
Yeah, I am saying that this strain of Christianity that thinks that their place is to force their religion on others has existed within the United States since its foundation.
Yeah,
It
but
is-
the
it is-
most
it
of
is
the-
foundational
We
to
had
our
witches.
society.
We had witch problems.
Yeah, but most of the founding fathers were, deists. you know.
Our governmental founding
Yes.
fathers.
So
they were deists.
but-
They were not
okay,
Christian.
so-
but the societal founding.
Okay.
Those people have always
But
been that way.
Understanding that, but I'm saying let's take it back to the Constitution, the mythology or whatever. The reason why I hear it doesn't matter is how the Constitution was written. It's very clear that it's religious institutions should have no footing in our government in any way. But yet, a side that professes to be red, right, and blue balls as a mother are always trying to lower that bar.
I got you. I understand what you're saying. And you're not gonna like my response. It's a misreading of the First Amendment, the same way that the idea that no regulation on guns is a misreading of the Second. So what they're saying, can you bring up the First Amendment? Because I'm gonna screw up this verbiage. But it says that the government shall create no rule in respect to an establishment of religion.
Okay.
Okay. And what they think that means, the way they word that, is that they're saying that the government cannot make a law that establishes a religion. Like, that's the way they're using establishment. But it's establishment as in like an establishment, a building.
A building.
The government shall make no law regarding any establishment of religion. So if it is a religious building, the government can have no law
Made in-
controlling that.
So you're saying that literally the law is just written as you can't make laws inside
No,
church building?
you can't make
Like-
a law that like controls any establishment of religion, any church.
Okay.
Like, you cannot have a law that controls that church.
Here, it's right.
And you cannot have a church that controls the law.
Okay.
That's the separation.
Okay.
But in their mind, what it says is that as long as you are not making a law that establishes a religion, you're okay.
Okay, that's a way bastardization of the way that I would interpret that in any way.
Yep, but
I would
that's
always
how
figure
that
that-
is how so much of that thought works. Is it's just a misreading of the way it's written.
And like, look, I grew up in the church, but I'm a spiritual person. I would say I'm less of like a dogmatic person. You know, I'm spiritual to an extent, but I feel like that is like the biggest thing when it comes to establishing either a national religion or, you know, lowering the bar on church and state in general. I think is a big infringement on what it means to be an American in general. Because like, let's say we're making these laws to control Jess's uterus.
Yeah,
Right?
That's right. She doesn't get rights.
Jess,
All right.
you don't get no rights.
Mm-mm.
You need
Less than a corpse.
Yeah, we're going to tell you what you can do with your body. And that's because Jesus told me that that's how it's supposed to be done. And then in turn doing that, I am using my dogmatic beliefs in order to control other people, which is just anti-American, in my opinion. I don't think that, but let's say Jesus told me, but James, you like to establish things. You're establishing a political party. James establishes a religion. Then we get a lot of people following James. James is modern day Jesus. He has the beard.
The holy beaver.
He has the beard. Look at the
If
beard.
anything, I look way more like a Zeus or Poseidon.
Okay. let's just say it's the church's.
Yeah, I want one of the gods with abs and like
James-
sick
man.
muscles and
I want
stuff.
that Thunderbolt.
Yeah, superpowers.
James, Zeus, Caples. Okay, and you get 100 million plus Americans to follow you, and you decree.
Terrifying.
Hold on, you
Do
decree.
not ever do that, anybody.
You decree mandatory abortions. You say you have to have them. And then the bulk amount of people that follow you have already had the groundwork of the lowering the bar of church and state, and now they're going to do the same thing. I think it's bullshit.
I'm so proud of you because you just stumbled upon a vertical and lateral morality. It's a philosophical thing. So,
What?
So a lot of people who are religious, they question, like, if you're not religious, where does your morality, where do your ethics come from? Okay. They question that because they have what's called vertical morality. The morality is taken from on high and it is handed down to them. And whatever that person on top says is moral. If God says it's moral, then God tells the pastors it's moral, or he puts it in the Bible, and the Bible, and now that's what comes down, and now that's my morality, right? Lateral morality is the idea that if I would not want it done to me, I should not do it to another person.
Yeah.
Harm is immoral. Intentionally harming somebody is immoral. Harming somebody unintentionally, as long as you make it okay, like you realize, oh, that was harmful, and you go to make it right, you're okay, right? That's lateral morality. So vertical morality we learn immediately as children. It is the first thing we are taught.
And it's
Ready?
also through socialization.
Well,
and,
no,
you know.
like it's you better watch out. You better not cry.
Santa is God.
Santa is Christ.
Knew it.
I knew it.
Called it.
James,
I mean,
this
you
is
haven't
why
seen him and
we
Jesus in the
worship
same
the
room.
altar. James, Zeus, Caples.
Santa is the first version of lateral morality we learn. You're too young to understand death and like eternal damnation. So what you have to learn first is there is this being watching me, and if I don't be good, I am going to get punished. That is the primer.
Yeah.
And then, as you grow up, there are different ones, right? There's the Tooth Fairy, there's the Easter Bunny, there are all these things, and that's all priming us to believe in this vertical morality, that there's this thing up there that we can't see and we don't have any evidence of, but it's making things so that it's going to be great for us later as long as we do what we're told. You grow out of all of them, except for that, right?
Yeah.
I just had a crazy thought.
What?
Jesus' birthday's Christmas, right?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Even though, like, people say because of the description,
Yeah, right,
it
right,
was
right.
probably near May or
Right.
something.
Whatever. Christmas is a holiday where a guy with a beard goes to all the good people's homes and drops gifts off, right?
Yeah.
What if when Jesus came back, Jesus has been Santa Claus all this time? And the white beard is just him aged up. So for his birthday, what would Jesus like to do? Give back to the people, right?
Yeah, but then, like, they have the problem with, like, Yule and, like, the pagan, like, harvest.
Drew,
the
you're not
season.
listening.
And then, like, how Christians come over, like, hey, this is now our thing. And then, like,
Drew,
there's sort of
That's just a bad PR team, all right? Don't focus on them.
All right, I'm saying.
But what if
It's all been the same.
all
along.
this time, Jesus has just been giving out presents for his birthday because that's what Jesus would do. And Jesus is really Santa Claus all along.
I like it.
You cracked the code.
I knew it. Dude, I'm crazy smart.
Hold on. Stay here. We'll be right back. One more break, and we're going to finish up the pod.
We would like to thank Frank Sierra Finish Carpentry and Sierra Door Supply, providing and installing all your doors, custom closets, and decorative molding needs in Tulare, Kern, Kings, and Fresno County. Give a call to Anthony Sierra, your friendly neighborhood Finish carpenters, for a free quote today at 559-623-3054. Thank you so much for supporting the Do Over podcast.
Dude, Anthony Sierra came through, fixed legit all of our doors in like 40 minutes.
We love that.
The guy's a G, dude. Like, problems that 2 separate contractors have yet to fix. He was in and out in 30 minutes and nailed it. So go ahead and check them out. Thank you very much for supporting the Do Over podcast. Now, we're on the home stretch. We did all the politics talk. Now, look, We don't usually talk politics. We did this time because we had Mr. James Caples in, chef, head chef, restaurateur,
And
benediction, or as Elliot calls it, benedictions, which is weird.
because you got an
People love to
addictions.
put the S on there, man.
yeah, yeah.
Because you got an addictions to those bins.
My all-time favorite benediction mispronunciations are the S that people love to add onto the name. I also really enjoy people asking for the flat bottom grilled cheese instead of the fat bottom grilled cheese. It's our most popular sandwich. They love to add that L in there. It is not going to give you a flat bottom. The other one is we have had the nickel bag with a G burrito since we were a food truck for 12 years.
Right.
And the number of people who to this day call it the nickel back burrito just always makes me laugh.
Yeah, it was me.
And you worked there.
Yeah, he
Like,
worked there.
yeah,
He
he
did
did.
it
and
all the
I-
time.
I still
You
got it
should
wrong.
you should know better. You
Well,
should know
that's
better.
probably why I don't work there anymore.
So, anyways, with all that being said, we're gonna end today on our TV on the internet, getting people up to snuff on game.
Up to snuff.
Now I'm gonna go first. Now, Elliot, you do have a Survivor recap that we're gonna get to.
Yes. Do we have the music?
I will pull it up.
Are we allowed to play their music?
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
we're gonna
Watch us do this whole episode
Just shaken down.
just to get copyrighted right at the end.
Typically, the funny thing about YouTube that I'm finding out right now is that typically they're cool with it because, it is beneficial to other shows and stuff for people to go and do like recaps.
Yeah.
Puts more eyes on that. So most, they are, as long as if you're not just playing the episode,
As long as it's not Nintendo.
you are pretty good. You're pretty good when it comes, or if you're playing a Nintendo game,
because you will
because
get.
they will take your house away.
They'll go to your home.
There's this musician I found on TikTok named Madeline May, who I love her songs, but there's a couple of them that have some really distinct Nintendo in it, and I'm like, how is she getting away with this?
I think sounds.
You think music they're letting it better?
I think sounds.
I think
kind of get away with
Sounders,
it.
You
Sounders
kind of
get away with
Sampling
it.
thing.
Like the "It's a tie" or "Let's go," like that's like you get away with that stuff. But
Hang
if
on, do
you're
Mario again.
"Let's go," wahoo, wahoo, let's go. So here's the deal, man. Before we get into it, because we're gonna discuss it,
He went into his sultry voice.
Survivor. We're gonna crack that open. Severance. I love this show so much.
We've talked about it for about 5 weeks straight now.
We
It's
have.
the best show on television.
And Darlene saying that
Darling.
I couldn't get into it, and I'm like, bro,
Nope. I don't trust
Bro.
you if you can't get into Severance.
you got to give it 3 episodes. The mystery of the show is great. This last episode, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Don't do it.
This last episode lifted the curtain so high.
I feel like that was a spoiler in itself.
Hold on. But it also caused way more questions. How do I put this?
Damn it, I know what happened.
No, you don't.
I'm,
You do not.
my brain.
Trust me, you don't. You don't. Here's my question, though. Like Lost, whereas the mystery of the island was the driving force behind Lost with characterization around it.
Mhm.
Okay. Severance is the main driving force is like, what is the purpose? What are they doing?
Yeah.
I can't go 5 seasons of trickle down information that doesn't definitively answer things. I'm hoping that Severance doesn't get into the Lost problem, which is constantly layering on the mystery instead of quantifiably answering something.
Yeah, I think
Right.
I think that's where Lost went wrong, and what Severance hopefully does, and I kind of feel like they did a little bit at the end of the first season, is it's like we're gonna answer, but we're just gonna that answer is going to just create a new question instead of just that answer is just going to give more questions.
And I'm okay with that if they literally answer it at the end, which Lost didn't do.
Yeah.
They kind of alluded, but they didn't.
Well, I mean, they kind of admitted in the
Yeah.
end, years later, that everybody guessed it, and then they were like, "Ah, crap, we had to
Yeah.
figure out something
Right.
else."
Yeah.
Well, as long as they don't have a Sopranos finale.
What I want is for them to actually quantifiably answer things, and maybe a new plot device of how do we fix this becomes the main driving force behind it. So, because if it's just mystery on mystery on mystery, that can only pull you so far, right?
It's pulling me pretty damn far
no,
right now.
and it is, and it's great. I love Severance. Severance is probably one of my favorite shows in a long, long time.
Oh, for sure.
I'm 100% in, but I don't want them to fall into that problem of nothing is answered ever. it's always going to be some open-ended interpretation of a mystery because it keeps the people theorizing and stuff. I'm okay layering on more mysteries, but let's go back from the last 2 seasons and answer some of these, right?
Yeah, I've become a connoisseur of Apple TV. I think Apple
They
TV
have good
is
programming.
just show for
been
show.
slept on for a while now.
The best streamer, and they I've heard that they kind of require a 3-season pitch, right? So like they have to, when you come in, you have to say like, these are the first 3 seasons. And then they want that pitch to be like all encompassing, where like if they edited those 3 seasons, it's done. But if they decide to keep going, then they can like,
so kind of like what Ted Lasso did.
Yeah, exactly.
3 seasons, and you don't need more, but you can do more if you
the
want.
people demand it, we can make a show about the women's team, right? Like,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that's kind of built in, where at the end, at least by the end of the 3rd season, you're going to get a good answer of, you know, what's going on, who's Kier, what is microdata processing, you know, whatever. And then, you know, maybe that's when they get the new, like, okay, this is the new mystery that we're now trying to figure out. Or like maybe we get like what's macrodata processing, but now we have to figure out like what's the whole company, right? In the further seasons. But yeah, no, I think Severance is, I do not have a single complaint about that show.
It's great.
And really the whole network, I think, have you watched Shrinking? I think.
No, I heard Shrinking's great.
I've heard about 3 or 4 Apple shows that people are just like, they're great, but I haven't got to yet. I will say there is one stinker, and it's Hijack. And I hate to do it to my boy Idris Elba.
Hijack, no good.
I watched 1 episode.
It's bad.
And you know what it should have been? 1 to 2 episodes. Like, you can only be on an 8-hour flight for so many episodes.
Right, yeah.
But it's the entire season.
Oh, man.
And it's 10 episodes.
Yeah, they're
like, you don't need 10 episodes on a plane.
Yeah.
I did Physical like the 1st season. The 2nd season kind of lost me.
Or just make it a movie. Just make Hijack a movie.
The Bad Monkey with Vince Vaughn. I really liked that show. Like, I had such a weird cast. It was such an odd plot, but like it reminded me of this old movie that Soderbergh made in the late 90s called Big Trouble with Tim Allen and Rene Russo. That's just like one of my favorite dumb things ever.
Big Trouble?
Yeah, it's one of those, like, there's a bunch of different people, like Jason Lee's in it, Patrick Warburton's in it. And it revolves around Tim Allen is a ad exec who used to be basically Barry. What was that dude's name in the 90s? The really famous newspaper columnist. He wrote it. But anyway, Dave Barry. Dave Barry wrote it, and Tim Allen is basically Dave Barry, and he gets caught up in this like plot around a nuclear bomb, but Jason Lee is in it, and he plays this homeless guy named Puggy who lives in a tree. Sofia Vergara's in it, and she's so young you don't even realize it's Sofia Vergara. Patrick Warburton, Janine Garofalo, Stanley Tucci. Like, it's one of the most famous casts you've ever seen in your lives.
Big Trouble tells the story of how a mysterious suitcase brings together and changes the lives of a divorced dad, an unhappy housewife, 2 hitmen, a pair of street thugs, 2 love-struck teens, 2 FBI men, and a psychedelic toad.
Yeah, the love-struck teens are Zoe Deschanel and what's that dude's name? He was the bad guy in Logan. Ben something.
Oh, God, yeah.
That dude.
Yeah.
And then DJ Qualls is like his best friend. Like it is the most famous like year 2000 cast you could imagine.
Johnny Knoxville's in it?
Yeah.
All right, Johnny Knoxville. Welcome aboard.
That's what I'm telling you. If they were famous in the year 2000, they're in this movie nobody but me has ever heard of. It's fantastic.
So, Elliot.
Yes.
Now that we got some old school Tim Allen movie recommendations, now that we got that, let's get to the meat and potatoes of TV on the internet.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here we go.
Previously on Survivor. It was the dawn of a new era as 18 Americans went to Fiji. Some alliances went California girls are undeniable. Teaming bikinis on top as the bros teamed up against the hoes. Jess had enough as she got her tribal tattoo and left. Now with the new partner with James, will Elliot and Drew be able to successfully recap Survivor? Tune in now 29 days. It should be 39. Here is Survivor. Not bad, right?
Very good, very good, very good. Did it live. Okay, now, Elliot.
Yes.
We're panning in on all of our faces doing some cool slow-mo on the beach in Fiji somewhere.
Yes.
How are you liking Survivor 48? Because I'm going to tell you right now the people I hate.
Okay.
Okay. It's not necessarily that I hate her, but I think Say is playing way too hard.
Way too aggressive. I like her. Too aggressive right now.
She's fine. She's too much. And Say is also the person that if you don't do what she says,
she's going to send everybody after you.
She's going to stab you in the back, even if you're in her alliance. She needs to go. The really cocky muscles guy.
David? The stunt guy? I like David.
He's fine, but he's also like, well, that guy's no me, because if I did it, I'm a winner. I would have done it.
I kind of like that, though. And everybody knows the meathead muscle guy never wins.
Yeah.
So I don't mind if you're a little cocky because you need to be.
Now, the dudes and chicks that I really like.
Okay.
Fire Captain's awesome.
Chrissy or Joe?
Joe.
Okay.
Joe.
Joe's cool.
Joe's awesome. He's when it comes to being like vulnerable, like a man that's vulnerable, but also a man, he's a perfect role model for young men. These young men right now,
a lot of those.
We need those because these young men are getting strongholded by dip grifters that are kind of telling you the only way you can be a man is to call bitches hoes and bitches, and it's like, okay.
Why do you sound like an old prospector saying, oh, bitches and hoes?
I'm saying like people like the Tate brothers are strongholding young men about where all the masculinity is.
No, they're destroying an entire generation of dudes.
Here's a 48-year-old man who's ripped, a fire captain, a badass, but also emotionally vulnerable and open and good example.
Yeah.
There's another girl that has autism.
Eva.
She reminds me of my daughter. It me up. It me up.
Well, and she's a badass.
She's a badass.
So she is easily the strongest person on their team. And she's probably like 125 all-muscle hockey player.
Yeah.
That's so good at hockey, she plays on the men's team.
Yeah.
So she's just a beast.
And then I really like the attorney that
Kyle?
said, Kyle that said really good values, really nice guy. And also I just really like him. I think he's
going to be, I always think attorneys make it far.
Yeah, he's really good. And he's also just a nice person.
To have done the work to be an attorney and also done the work to be able to survive on a show like Survivor, that's pretty impressive.
Well,
attorneys
are always threats.
There was something that was going on. Long story short, he something up that was going to affect his tribe, but instead of just being like mad about it, he went and helped the other guy finish so he could finish the task.
But I think that's all a good strategy.
And it is a good
strategy. Be a good sport, especially because that guy he helped, Kevin, who I think might win it this year. I got a good feeling about Kevin this year.
I don't know about Kevin.
He's super likable.
He's likable.
He's super likable, and he seems athletic enough at challenges. But anyway, he helped Kevin finish his part of the challenge, so Kevin would win camp supplies. And then, so when a merge or when a tribe swap happens, which will probably happen the next 2 episodes, they probably get together, and you have a brand new alliance that stems 2 different tribes.
And that works. The people playing too hard, Say is definitely one of them. She needs to chill. But that's kind of my whole synopsis so far is like where I'm at because that's mainly who we saw. We didn't really see anything
I'm going to
else.
say this. The purple team looks destroyer worthy.
Yeah.
They look like they're going to be unstoppable.
They look kind
in
of
challenges.
Stacked. Yeah.
And it looks like they're going to be the reason why the tribes get swapped earlier than later because I think it's going to be very one-sided in challenges.
Yeah.
But I really like Kevin.
Kevin's great.
Big fan of Chrissy. She's the fire lieutenant, kind of the older mom, which older women always go kind of far in this show. So I think like if she makes like a late game push, she could very much win it. I like Charity, but she's starting the game poorly.
Yeah.
She's on the wrong side of a 4-person alliance. Yeah. My thing is, the one thing I don't like about the 3 tribes is that people set up 4-player alliances so fast, you kind of just don't have a shot if you're not in it right away.
Right.
So I feel like if you do 2 tribes, 6 is kind of tougher to make with an alliance, and then you have 3 and 3, and it's way more back and forth.
Yeah.
But
Do you think overall good kickoff to the season?
I think I'll say it was better than last season's first episode.
Yeah.
Because 47 had the Andy meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, 47, I think, is one of the best 40s survivors. And I think the winner was awesome. So it's got its work cut out for him. But I'm excited. I'm excited for Survivor 48. I think it's going to be a good season. I see a lot of good players. My one thing, I just don't want you to bash me over the head with people's sob stories.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they
I know, I feel you.
kind of did that right away, right at the
Yeah,
gate.
yeah.
And look, I'm all for you having a story and sharing your story. Give me time to get to know you better.
Yeah.
Don't first episode dump on me
All
everything.
the women pouring through my body. I'm like,
and Joe is a great guy, and Eva is an amazing girl, but they just dumped all of it on me the first episode.
But I would say that the Joe and Eva exchange, there was a purpose for that.
No, and it's very sweet, and I get that. I'm just,
So
from the last couple of, sorry,
Go ahead.
let me
You're
just end on this. On the last couple of seasons of Survivor, they're all great. The last 3 seasons of Survivor, I'd say, have been very good, but they do kind of just spend too much time dumping at one point.
Yeah, I'm with
Space it out a little bit. Let us get to know these people better before you just dump everything onto us.
Yeah. So I've never watched a single episode of Survivor, but the only thing I've watched that was similar, I used to watch like Top Chef back in the day.
Mhm.
I had to stop watching it because my pattern recognition caught that they would always just, the person that was getting the most focus that episode
Was going. Yeah.
right? And like just listening of like, well, they're showing the sob story. It's either like that person is going
Right.
like the whole way
To make you
or
care.
they're trying to get you invested because they're going to win.
Yeah.
Or they're going, right? Like,
So,
Survivor is good
or
about-
are they good about mixing it
They're
up?
good
so you
about
don't do
mixing
that?
it up. Yeah.
There are times, though, when they'll show a character so much that you know they're getting voted out that episode.
Yeah.
They did that with Rome last
Yeah,
year because
yeah.
Rome was, I liked him to a point,
He was just too much.
but he was just too much, and he was so...
He sabotaged himself, man.
He
And well,
did.
But to be fair about Rome's situation, like he had such people around him in order to form an alliance. Like they were just, and Teeny was there, and Teeny sucked.
Teeny was...
That surgeon sucked.
Yeah,
like they were
Famoud, yeah,
they were
awful.
untrustworthy people.
Shows with that amount of like, you need to be able to understand social dynamics in small groups. Like, they
Dude,
make
maybe
me
you
so
should watch it,
uncomfortable,
dude.
man.
But
No,
you
they make me
should
so
watch it.
uncomfortable. Like,
No,
I don't.
you
I
would
don't like
this.
social
But
situations.
but I
so,
think you would like...
But it's more about a manipulation of a social
And it's a
situation.
very-
it's not about.
And it's very... It's...
You
Not-
should give
not
it a
my
shot.
Hang on. It's political without politics because it is very group dynamics and group mentality and how people value other things. I think you would love that aspect
you
of
would
Survivor.
actually really like
Oh,
On
it.
top of it,
like the thing
you
is,
starve people for 29
I
days.
feel like I would.
Yeah.
I what I have seen of it, and like I've seen clips. I've never watched like full episodes. I've seen clips. Like the manipulation is what makes me uncomfortable. And like I have the same problem. Like I really struggle with watching like Ben Stiller movies.
Mhm.
Because like I don't like watching the person just get like beat to crap
Yeah.
for a full hour and a half
Right, yeah.
before they finally get their little like, oh, now everybody loves me at the end. And like so much of what I see in those clips is just like somebody manipulate, like so obviously being manipulated. And it's just like, oh, you poor soul.
Right.
Like why?
Yeah, no.
It-
But this, and I've said this on our old show all the time, and I'll say it here. The great thing about Survivor is that the outside social issues, even if it's like they had a situation, for a cluster of years, they're trying to pull like kind of the social discourse in.
Like 39 through 41.
and that got
was
rejected
very-
hard.
Yeah.
The good thing about Survivor is that it's a great equalizer. Everyone, it doesn't matter your background, race, religion, creed, sexuality, because plenty of gay people have won.
Well,
like
and
none of that matters.
A lot of the gay players are really
Yeah,
good
are
at
really good.
Survivor. They're so good at it.
None of that matters. What matters is all about your drive and your cunning nature. That's all that matters. And your kind of the relationships you form. These 3 things matter, but anyone, and I mean anyone,
Oh, yeah.
can win Survivor. But
There's
it's
been some
about
incredible winners.
and there has been seasons where out of spite the jury didn't vote for who should have won.
Yeah, looking at you, Xander.
Don't get me started.
I'm just leaving it at that.
That's happened. However, for the most part, anyone can win Survivor because everyone is equal. There is no leg up from anyone else for any other reason. And that's what I love about that game.
Well, that and God, you would love. I want to give him a season to watch because there's a winner I think he would really resonate with, but I don't want to spoil it.
But I don't want to watch it.
No, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
I barely watch TV as it is. Like, it's such a hard thing to get me to like sit down.
If you're ever
I'm
interested,
not going back and watch an old Survivor.
and if you're ever interested in winning or watching it because it is compelling, talk to Elliot. He knows. Now
I got to see. I literally have a whole note page of best winners.
Look, Survivor. Watch it. 48 off to a good start.
Yep.
We're gonna do some more stuff with the Survivor next week because we went a little bit long.
We did.
But round of applause for James.
Oh my goodness. We did.
Go eat at Benaddiction, not Benedictions. Benediction. Go and do that.
Just one.
Benediction. Okay, you can go and check that out. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
We worship at the altar of James.
Don't
He
do
is
that.
now starting a religion. That's happening.
We are not doing that.
Elliot.
Yes.
Thank you very much for coming. Hey, Jess. Jess left.
Hey,
Okay.
language.
She didn't like me.
No. Jess left.
That
But
was boring.
we got tattoos. Big shout out to Tim Walsh.
We love Tim.
We love Tim. Dungeons and Do-Overs. Go and
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Today.
Maybe it's
Whenever
live.
you're watching. I don't know.
Maybe it's live. And if it wasn't, you'll see it soon. And thank you to all of our sponsors. Go down to Brown's Shoe Store in Visalia.
Yeah, get yourself
semi-annual
some
sale.
brimstone boots, baby.
Go do that. Support Grogs. Support Horn Photo. Support the amazing duo, father and son duo of the Sierras. And until next week, we got to get the on out of here. We're not counting anymore, so it doesn't matter. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Do Over Podcast. And we'll see you next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Until then, gotta go. Love you. Bye.
Jess, leg lift.
Leg lift.